You are now listening to Nerd Rage Radio with Bobby Skullface and Adam Russman. This podcast is intended for mature audiences only and may not fit with your sensitive sensibilities. You may be a victim of meaningless outrage, or you may, in fact, be a big ninny pants. If this is the case, please feel free to turn it off now. This is no country for ninny McNinny pants. So crack open the Mountain Dew. Make sure the cheese doodles are super fresh. We're in your mother's basement. It's Nerd Rage Radio.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Nerd Rage Radio, episode 207. As you can hear, it's me and not Adam, so that means he's MIA. We don't know exactly why. All we know is there was a mopping emergency. Which, I got news for you. If you've ever seen those weird white vans with one yellow light on top, now you know what that yellow light is for. Now you know. I'm joined, it's a skeleton crew, you might say. I'm joined by Mr. Joe KW, Uncle Dolphin.
What's up, everybody?
So I actually really look forward to these type of episodes, Joe, because I feel like we can get into tangents that we don't normally have the opportunity to get into because of the nonsense. I was listening back to last week's episode.
Poor Chris.
Yeah, poor dude. Chris had a rough run last week. I'm gonna have to make it up to him somehow. But it took him close to 45 minutes to tell like a 5-minute story.
We were all on it.
Yeah, and apparently that we got in writing. I think it was James G. wrote in and said that AEW wrestling shit, that shit's a big deal.
Okay.
Like we should probably take heed to it a little bit. You know, my thing is I just don't know shit about wrestling.
Yeah, same.
I know I've failed my white trash forefathers, but it just never really appealed to me except for Doink the Clown. He was a fucking maniac, that guy. How was your Nerd Week?
Nerd Week is decent. I've skipped the anime stuff. Watched Attack of the Titan remake, the one in a few, like 5-10 years ago.
Attack of the Titan, not to be confused
Clash
with
of the Titan.
Oh, Clash of the
Titan.
Titans.
Not Attack on Titan, which is the anime.
Attack on Titan is an anime that I am familiar with.
Yes.
And I have one of the songs from the soundtrack downloaded. How You Like Me Now?
Really?
I do.
Surprised.
I heard it randomly somewhere, and I was like, "What is this?" And they were like, "It's part of the score to Attack on Titan." Downloaded it right then and there.
That's pretty hype music.
Mm-hmm.
I liked it. I enjoyed it. I didn't think.
Dude, I love that movie.
I feel like people shit on that movie.
Yeah, I feel like they shit on it unfairly. You know what else is great on that fucking movie? The soundtrack. Bringing it full circle. It's the Titans and soundtracks go well together. I even like the Hercules soundtrack from the Disney movie. They had 3 Titans, got loose in the end. Yep. Not a bad soundtrack. I think that that movie gets a bad rep because it came out in like the 300 era.
Right.
You know, but like I think that movie's solid. And you know what? I'd fuck Medusa.
I had to think about it for a second.
It's not hateful. And she's bold.
I mean, she was originally gorgeous.
Like, hey, you want to put a shirt on? Nah, I'm just gonna rock this bow.
But she's got no bottom halfway to do anything with.
That you know of. But yeah, and I too like to live dangerously. But yeah, I think it's a good movie. The soundtrack is fucking rocking. The special effects.
Do they
hold up?
They hold up.
In my mind, they hold up.
They were good. Like the only weird part was like the gods were like the armors were like really shiny, like unnaturally shiny.
Yeah. Like up in the clouds and
Yeah, I mean,
it reminds me of your anime shit. Those people that all wear the gold armor.
Yeah. But the effect, I get it. You know, it's this divine thing. But I can see why some people would be put off by it because it could seem a little cheesy.
A bit much.
But the special effects are fine. Like the creatures are fine.
And they're gods. Like they should be a bit much.
Yeah.
You know, what do they call it when you're like when P. Diddy was wearing 2 Rolexes? You know, whatever that is. Like it's too much fawning. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you need 2 time zones. Fucking relax.
We got fucking Liam Neeson's. We got Mads Mikkelsen. Before he got popular, we got the Beast from X-Men, who's also he's one of the soldier guys. That was before he got big too.
You know what movie I love that came out during that era, but it came out towards the end, so it never really gets the full credit it deserves. The Immortals. I
think again, like you said, we were talking about earlier about Hollywood jumps on trends.
Yes.
Whether they do on purpose or not, like people get tired of the same shit. So we have 300, we have Clash of Titans, we have the Immortals, and then Immortals I think was too close to 300, but different enough to where people didn't like it.
Yeah, and too close to Clash of Titans because it's very much in that same the gods and all that stuff. But I think it's the best of all of them, like the best all around film. Yeah,
I like 300 more. Like it was.
So I think 300 is more enjoyable to watch. Like the Immortals is work.
Yes,
but
it's like watching a play.
Yes, but to me, it's worth the work. And
I find the aesthetics interesting.
That guy, Indian fella. I feel like if you say fella at the end, it makes you sound racist. Do you agree?
Yes.
But that Indian guy, I don't know his name. He got his start like in commercials, and then he did The Cell, and then he did The Fall, which was like that's his baby. That was his dream project. That was the only reason why he got into Hollywood, was to have the opportunity to do The Fall. And then he did Immortals. And then he did some like wild shit like that flopped. Like I think all of them have kind of flopped. Like the first one did well. What was that one? The Cell. That did fine, I think. But then The Fall, nobody even knows about that movie.
Yeah, I don't even know.
That's one I would watch with you for like And then the other one was The Immortals, and I don't think that did extremely well either, offhand. But what I think is interesting is that guy is, in my opinion, he is the most visually brilliant director that the world has seen. Like, I
don't know if I can go that far, but like visually, yes,
I don't know who else. I don't know who else I'd put in there. And you know who else I'd put in there? And I'm talking about just visuals.
Well, you hate with Del Toro, but people would put him up there as visually.
No. See, I do hate him. No, I don't hate him. That's not fair. 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 I don't hate him, but I do think that like, I think you could put him in that list. I'd be comfortable putting him in that list.
Okay. Even though you're not a fan of it, you can see it objectively.
Yes, exactly. Because I think his visuals are stunning.
Yeah.
I just think it's the same visual over and 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 over. Like, oh, another little bird creature walking around, huh? I get it. But like, but I think maybe with that, I come from that school where it's like, this is George Lucas and all his shit looks like this, and this is in this world, but then in this world they all look like this. Like the Willow creatures don't look like the Star Wars creatures, which don't look like the THX look. Which
I get what
Jim
you
Henson.
From. They're all Muppets.
Yeah, but like that shit doesn't look like Labyrinth, which doesn't look like Dark Crystal, which doesn't look like the Fraggles. Maybe is in the same pocket, but they all kind of have their own identity.
Like for me, I don't see all his stuff as the same. Like I see that they all come from the same person, but I don't see that they're identical.
Well, I mean, I guess they're not identical. I feel like I could sneak it past you. I feel like if I made a video cut of a trailer of Pan's Labyrinth, but I cut in Hellboy shit, you wouldn't know.
Is it a stylistic thing, or because they don't look the same?
I mean, stylistically,
they're not the same thing.
No, they're not. But stylistically, it helps, right? Obviously, because it's the same artist and same kind of, I would imagine, cinematographer. Like usually, guys like that keep the same crew. But so that certainly helps blend it. But just the fact that the creatures all look like they're, I mean, it looks like the same God. I mean, it's true though, right? Like the same God created all those creatures. It's just that I don't think that God is as diverse in his vision as a lot of other super visual people that have come before him.
Well, let's relate it to something I'm not so familiar with, but you are. Music. So music from, say, the same band, from an outside perspective of someone who's not into the band, might be like they all sound the same. But to you, they don't sound the same.
Yeah, so I agree.
Like Metallica, for one.
Well, I mean, but
that shit
does sound. A lot of that shit does sound the same. It's like when they got in that little redneck bar bit for a while with the fuel and give me fuel, give me fire, give me that. Yeah, that 2000s? Shit. Fuck that shit. Fuck it.
I was done with them by then.
Yeah, everything up until the Black Album.
Yes.
On any given day. Because sometimes I make the cut at Injustice for All.
Yes.
Sometimes I make the cut at the Black Album. It all depends on what day you catch me. Today I'm saying Black Album because I'm being liberal. But everything up to then, and then Death Magnetic I put in there as well. That all sounds kind of the same, like it's from the same artist.
But you don't shit on them for sounding...
No, but see, the same thing is, okay, so you have that, right? They have a pocket, and they do that pocket well. I would say that Manson has a pocket, right? Even though I think there's more diversity in Manson's music, like Beautiful People and fucking Dope Show don't sound anything remotely close. But take an artist like Bowie. what makes him great, what makes him stand out, is the fact that he's Madonna, or the fact that they're able to reinvent themselves completely so often. Different. Everything, the sound, the vibe, the cadence, the vocal tones, like it changes. I think that's what makes
few like brilliant people that can do that.
Correct, but that's what I'm saying is that's what makes them special. I don't think that people that are of the talent level that queer. This is when you say the name as I'm struggling. This is like this. It's a social dance, Joe.
No, I don't know.
But like I don't Guillermo del Toro.
Guillermo del Toro.
I don't know.
I'm the foreign guy here.
So I think that he is a really good filmmaker. I think the problem is that really good filmmakers often don't play around in this arena, but the really great filmmakers that do play around in this arena are more visually creative than he is.
Okay, I can see that.
Put one on the scoreboard for Bobby Skullface. Okay, so how did we get here?
I watched Clash of the Titan.
Oh yeah.
Did you watch the original Clash of the Titan with the claymation?
Dude, I used to watch it all the time. My dad and I used to watch it together.
I love that shit as a kid.
Dude, the skeletons.
Yeah, there's nothing like it.
Yeah. I used to watch the Medusa scene and then the Kraken like all the time. Dude, what's Kraken? You know what I mean? What if he'd have said that when he's chained up to the dude, what's Kraken?
That did bother me that Andromeda was roped up instead of chained up in this remake. That makes a difference to me because, like in the mythology, specifically, she's got chained up. I don't know why. I don't know why I hung up on that.
And I wonder why they would make that change.
Maybe it was just an oversight.
That chains. Yeah, I don't know. But you think it's an oversight?
And yeah, it was just tied up. She's supposed to be tied up to a thing, and no one had the attention to detail. But like, no, specifically has to be chains. Maybe it's something for me too because of the armored guys we're talking about, the Knights of the Zodiac. One of them is of the Andromeda constellation, and his weapons are chains.
Gotcha.
So it stood out to me and bothered me. And also, like, not that the girl is bad looking that they picked, but like she's supposed to be extremely beautiful. So like. That didn't throw me up.
On a scale from 0 to Ryan Reynolds, where would you?
Ryan Reynolds said 11, so we don't even have to put him on a scale.
Fair enough.
On a scale of A through F, I'll give her a B.
Okay, I'll take a B.
But
I'd have to look at her
assuming
again.
it should be an A plus because like part of why the gods got mad was when her mom is like her beauty rivals out of the gods.
Where would you have put Cersei in 300?
A.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
Dude, she's gorgeous in that
movie.
movie.
It's not just it's her attitude helps it.
Talk to me, Joe. God bless. Come back with your shield or on it. Like, that's the type of bitch I want by my side.
Yeah, personality adds a lot to people's look. Because, like, I don't know, for me personally, I've definitely found people even physically more or less attractive the more I get to know them.
Yeah, for sure.
I've definitely met hot girls where I've got to know them and like they got less attractive to me.
I think that's how affairs at work happen. Like workplace affairs. Because you end up spending so much time with the person, you end up possibly appreciating little nuances about their character that you didn't necessarily find attractive, to begin with, and then all of a sudden they become more alluring to you than your home life.
Yeah, because a lot of times on the outside looking in, when I see people have affair, I'm like, why do you downgrade?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, because I think sometimes it's not about that. It's about like the missing components at home. And then
people spend more time at work than at home.
That too, or the time they do spend at home is you know what I mean.
Yeah, but yeah. So that was good,
dude. I want to watch the Immortals now.
Yeah, I only saw it once.
Bad.
And then like, it's how do you feel about things taking like source material like mythology and really don't follow it? I guess really disregard it, uses the characters because Immortals is like that, right? I enjoy it. But I can see how some people might not like Clash of Titans also taken from mythology, but it's not the same. Like
but I think Immortals is a conscious choice,
right?
Right. I think that's not a person that's ignorant. That's a person that's saying, I want to reimagine this.
Yeah, I'm okay with reimaginations, but like not like disrespect because we talk about it sometimes. Whereas like Transformers, for instance,
Batman and Robin,
right? They took the characters and they said fuck what they want to do and
fuck who they are.
Yeah.
Like I don't think there's anything like that in regard to
the Immortals. It was purpose. Like this is the art I want to make.
Correct. I was thinking like as we were talking. What's funny? Like thinking about super visual story like. directors, and don't get me wrong, I'm not talking about necessarily great directors or even great storytellers, just great visual directors, like where their visuals, their color palettes, like all that kind of stuff that they see in their head come through. You know who's another person that's a standout to me, and it's a super obnoxious choice, but Hype Williams. He only did one movie. He was a rap video director. Okay, he did Belly. But like
I didn't watch.
It's terrible. It's terrible.
Is that the one with Jessica Alba?
No,
that's a different one.
No, yeah, it's got to be something else because this definitely doesn't have Jessica Alba in it. Okay. She would be very out of place in this world. But it stars like Nas and DMX, right?
Okay.
But they're not playing any character. Like they're playing Nas and DMX.
Okay.
Like you know what I mean? Like they have different names. But there's no acting involved in this. You know what I mean? It might as well be a documentary. They're just putting them together in these circumstances. But his color palettes, a lot of blues and super saturated colors and all that. Like when you watch it, you're like, oh, this is different. This is a person that cares about the visual. Like certain scenes were like, blacked out almost, and you only see like light reflections and eyes and stuff, and
reminiscent of like graphic novels,
or a music video, But
true. Oh yeah, I guess it takes a different a different vision to make a music video than it is a regular movie.
Because that's the thing, right? What is like the Indian fella? He did.
You should really find out his name.
Yeah, I know, but
not M. Night Shyamalan.
No, it's not him. And not the guy that did the Tiger in the Boat. Not that guy either. That movie was fucking awesome though.
Life of Pi.
Yeah. Not that guy either. And I saw what was the other one? There was another one that got
Slumdog Millionaire.
Yeah, that was good too, but that's not that guy either.
At least they're different people.
Yeah.
I think it's worse if you thought they were the same guy.
Yeah. I had to start naming all these. I'm like, I think he was in this movie. But what is a music video is there to sell a record, right? It's there, and a commercial is there to sell a product. And both of these people came from these worlds where they were making things to be visually striking, to sell somebody on something, and it definitely comes through in their work. And I'm not saying that Hype Williams even deserves to be mentioned in the same conversation as our Indian friend or Guillermo del Toro or any of these great directors. But what I am saying is that they are people that understand what makes something visually interesting.
You enjoy Pan's Labyrinth, do you? Do you watch it?
I did watch it. I
didn't care for it.
I did.
Enjoyed Hellboy?
I didn't dislike it. Yeah, I like Hellboy 2 a lot. I prefer it over the first.
Yeah. And you don't like Pacific Rim, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Just making it clear.
Oh, and he did the other one. I saw another one they did with the it was like the sea guy from Hellboy, but he lived in some lady's bathtub.
Oh, Lady in the Water.
Yeah.
Or something like that.
Yeah, I saw that.
It's mermaid love action.
And that was fine. It was like, but once again, it was originality that I felt was lacking. It was like Beauty and the Beast kind of, reverse almost, but
right. Yeah. And he did.
You might say it's a fish out of water story. You might say.
Damn it, Chris, help me out. Didn't Scary Movies They Tell in the Dark just came out recently? Isn't he doing that one? Didn't he do that one? I'm interested in watching that. I'm interested in watching it because I read those books as a kid.
I certainly haven't seen it.
It scared the shit out of me.
Yeah, I haven't seen it, but I think he did.
I think it just came out. Well, we'll check it out. We watched a movie that I vaguely remember just the name of hearing once. Inkheart? I remember a long time ago I heard the movie, but like
Inkheart?
Yeah. Me and Chris never heard of it, never really heard of it. Don't know what it's about. We've just put it on because we're like, let's just watch a fun movie. We've been watching a lot of like other shit. We've never heard of it, but it's got Brendan Fraser. It's got Andy Serkis. It's got Jennifer Connelly. Like,
that's 2 out of 3 are really talented. And then one was an Encino Man.
And The Mummy.
Yeah, that's true.
I like Brendan Fraser, man.
Ugh.
He was in Crash? Was that the movie?
Stock.
Oh, I saw that you didn't count those in your video. But it's a family movie. Interesting enough. I wouldn't watch it. I wouldn't suggest an adult watch this movie.
Mm-hmm.
But it's not terrible. Mm-hmm. It's about how there are some people in the world when they read things out loud, they make things come out of the books.
Okay.
And then the consequences thereof.
Okay. I'm on board with that.
Like, if kids want to watch kids' movies, try it out.
Does Andy Serkis play like some sort of fucking creature?
He's the best part of the whole movie.
Oh, no doubt. No doubt in my mind.
No, he's just him.
And Connolly's eyebrows.
He's a villain. and does a fucking great job.
Yeah.
You cannot pay attention to him.
That's his draw. That's what makes him special.
It's weird.
Give me everything.
Like whether you see him or not.
I love that dude, man. He's my next one. Now that I got Gary Oldman and Oscar, he's the next one I'm pushing for.
What would he?
So there was two people I used to fight for all the time.
But what we get an Oscar for? Voice acting?
Supporting actor.
Supporting actor. I don't know if they separate voice acting and Oscars.
I don't know.
When it comes to cartoons and stuff?
Yeah, I don't think.
Has anyone who voiced over for a cartoon ever won?
I don't know.
I don't know. We should find out.
Has anyone been nominated also? I don't know.
Yeah, because voice performances.
No one from Lion King should be nominated.
Not Beyonce?
No.
Not James Earl Jones?
No. It's because James Earl Jones does a great job, of course, but like it's more so because I said this before, but because the animals can't emote.
Yeah, so
the voice performances like kind of end up falling flat and I'm guessing that they tried to do it like what Simba, but they were like no, you can't. You got to be like more like what Simba, because we can't make the fucking mouth do that.
Yeah, because like voice is a big deal to me because like I listen to more things than I watch. A lot of times I have movies or shows on while I'm doing stuff and I'm not watching, so like I really pay attention to how good the voice is.
Yeah,
more than visually. We started watching a TV series, a German TV series that is dubbed in English and not subbed.
Okay.
Called Dark.
Oh, yeah, she just mentioned this.
We are in middle through season 2.
How
season
is it?
3 is being filmed right now, so which is going to be the last season.
You're enjoying it, I take it.
I enjoy it. I don't know if you would enjoy it because even at times I find it slow.
Okay.
Even at times I'm like, okay, I want to know what happens next because it's built on mystery and like there's so many.
Dude, that's one of my problems with TV in general is I find it to be a slow-moving medium. Like
because even with binging it, it's only 10. It's 10 episodes an hour each per season.
Right.
And it's so many characters and so many plot lines. Like literally, you start the show with a bunch of pictures and notes on the wall with detective lines.
Yeah. The yarn or whatever.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Your favorite.
Yeah, I love it.
And so you go through these people's lives and stories, and you still can't figure out what's going on. You just know it's got time travel involved.
Yeah, I think that.
But it's interesting. I enjoy it a lot.
I've been coming to this realization more and more with television. Like, I think it's just too much for me to consume. Like, it has to be so fucking good.
Yes.
For you know what I mean? Like, for me to really be invested in that much media, where I got to be like, okay, I'm committing to. I mean, I'm gonna get there in a minute when we get to The Boys, but The Boys is 8 episodes. It's it's 80 hours.
Yeah.
It's 8 hours. 8 hours.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
It's a lot of time.
It's a lot of fucking
Nowadays,
time.
yeah.
Like it's 3 movies, and some change. So like I have to be so into it to not want to put it down. And I think there's the amount of times that I can have been that into a show, I could probably count on one hand.
Yeah, I mean it's same with me. Except anime. I just love anime. I just love the medium. But like live action TV shows, I haven't been into one in years because I can't commit to it. I feel it sometimes also like an emotional endeavor. It's like I have to get invested in fucking 10 hours of these fucking made up people's lives.
Right.
But no, I enjoy it. Like I told you guys, it feels like a cross between Lost and Stranger Things.
Okay.
And you follow these people's lives through 3 different timelines. So it gets really confusing to think about after a while. So you have to pay attention. I couldn't listen to it. I had to watch it.
Gotcha.
But I would recommend if people are into spooky sci-fi. It's not horror, but it's spooky. It's got atmosphere.
Or would you say at most fear?
No, not at all. And of the things I watch, I think that's it.
All right. I got my X mansion built.
Looks great.
Yeah, thanks, man.
Great doll furniture.
Yeah. Laura started painting the chimney yesterday, and
looks great. Stonework.
Great
stonework.
Yeah, you do like so. If I was painting that, I would have painted the whole thing gray, one shade, and then gone back and hit different bricks. She painted each one separately.
That's why it looks so good.
Yeah. Let's see what else. I am working on a commission. I got to color a poncho. So that was a fun thing for me. Never done one of those before. Let's see what else. So I ended up doing a big commission. We were looking at it briefly today.
Yes. It was your best work, I think.
Thanks, man.
Like It's beautiful.
So it was personal. It was personal for someone, so I can't talk about it too much. But I put a lot into it because I knew how much it meant, and I wanted to make sure it was right. So the person that commissioned this was like, "Look, we're doing this, and we want it to go on a T-shirt." And I was like, "Okay, cool." So I did the same thing I always do when someone wants it printed on a specific form of merchandise or whatever. What file do you need it in? Mm-hmm. And what are the color limitations?
Yeah.
And they came back to me and said, any file, no limits. And I was like,
just gonna go ham.
Okay, that's what it is then. So I gave it everything I had. So this was back March, maybe?
Yeah, it's at least half a year ago.
And they come back to me this week and they're like, yeah, the file that you gave doesn't work. They need it in a different type of file. And I was like, well, this is why I asked, because I have a little bit of experience in this, and I've been down this road before, and I know it can cause problems. So what kind of file do they need it in? Well, we don't know. Well, they were like, why don't we give you the number you can call them and ask? And I was like, no, why don't you call them?
Yeah, that's not your job.
Yeah. So they couldn't get the answer. So then I was like, look, just give me the number. I'll deal with it. So I got the number. I called, and we've been playing this this horse and pony show basically to figure out if we can make it happen. And it looks like we might be able to make it happen, but we'll see. But it's just been a disaster. And
for such a simple thing that should have been figured out
in the beginning,
from on their end.
Because what they said initially when I talked to the people, they were like, well, we need it in Vector. And I was like, see, that's what I imagined, but I don't work in Vector, so I can't help you.
Right.
So anyway, I've been dealing with that, cranking out videos and stuff. I'm going to have to let off the gas on that a little bit soon because it's becoming too much.
Too much time?
Too much time and too much between this week is tough because it's like 4 dummies sit down Saturday and the Force Friday thing, and all of them take a lot of time to produce.
Yeah.
So those weeks are always tough, but something's going to have to eventually give there.
I mean, no one's making you do 6 videos a week every week, bro.
Yeah, no, I know. And some of it's going to drop back here shortly because I'm almost out of Star Wars review stuff to do. I got one more thing left to shoot, and then I'm out of ammunition. So that's gonna let off anyway. The Patreon stuff isn't really a big deal because most of that doesn't take a whole lot of time, and the bonus to it is that a lot of stuff that we do on the Patreon has turned into fun shit. Mm-hmm. So my wife and I do the music bit, and we really enjoy doing it. Where I don't think people want it as frequently as I would like to do it. You know what I mean? And then some of the discussions. I got an interview with my kids I'm putting up on Patreon this month, and a couple other things that we did. Let's see what else. Oh, my wife and her mother met on Friday.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
So I think we're good. Her mother was basically what are we gonna, what's the deal? And Laura was like, look, what we're gonna try to do now is just be cordial when we see each other. Mm-hmm. That's all we're gonna work on.
I mean, you have never been not cordial, right?
Correct.
As far as I know.
So it got there. So she was like, let's take, my wife said to her, let's take Selena's birthday party, for instance. Did you think he was cordial to you? And she was like, yes, he was. And she was like, and yet you still felt the need to tell him that his brothers weren't real.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Do you see how that's complicated? And she said, yeah. And Laura said, look, I can't express to you the strain that it's putting on my marriage, and it has to stop. So we just need to, you'll still be welcome here for kids' birthdays whenever we do that. And then when she brought that up, then her mother was like, well, look, you didn't invite us to Leia's birthday celebration. And Laura's like, look, we really didn't have one. We thought about doing one, but then we were like, what's the cost benefit of that? And then having a whole bunch of people out here, the baby's not going to remember it. She doesn't give a shit about a party, but she does give a shit about fucking animals. So let's just take her to the zoo and let her see some animals. And then, yeah, exactly. And she's like, okay, that makes sense. And she was like, look, you're still welcome here when we do kids' birthday parties or whatever. And, Christmas Eve, we'll still be doing it. And, he's going to be cordial to you, and you just be cordial to him. And when that time passes, maybe we can move on to something else. But as of right now, this is where we are.
She just fucking have no, I don't know. No sense of like evaluating herself and what she says. She
don't
just blurts
know.
stuff out.
I don't know.
Does she do this to everybody?
I don't know. No, I don't think she does it to everybody. I think she does it to. I think if she has to be cognizant of it, then she's cognizant of it. But I don't think she's very cognizant of it with me. But I think she's getting there.
Like it seems like she doesn't realize she's saying dumb shit until it's pointed out to her.
Right. So, but anyway,
which is weird.
So I was happy with everything Laura said, which is
like no skin off your back. You're gonna keep on keeping on.
Yeah, and that's what
additional
matters.
Responsibility.
Yeah. And then so Laura and I have actually been in a really good spot recently, like with all that. So that's been nice. And we've been getting back to a little bit more intimacy and a little bit more like, and I don't mean sex when I say that, like
connection.
Connection wise. So that's all been good. We watched, finished The Boys. So this is what I want to say about it. Show's great. Mm-hmm. It's great. That being said, I still didn't have that I can't get enough of this feel. I still had I've got too much of this, because it's just that medium. Like it's just so many hours to consume of, and unless I'm in love with it, like Big Little Lies, I could have watched 4 more episodes of and not skipped a beat. And I have no connection to that shit. The Boys I actually have a connection to, and I'm like, I'm good. And it doesn't mean it's bad. I'm just good. I'm not.
You had enough.
I don't have any sort of extra kind of. There's nothing extra or compelling about it that makes me addicted to it. Whereas like Big Little Lies, I was addicted to. I couldn't stop watching it.
It's
I had to know.
Was so good.
Yeah, it has to be exceptional. Is my thing.
Is the story has to be exceptional, or is it the editing? Is it they could have cut out a lot of shit and then made you?
I think it has to be the characters. I think I had to care about the story components in relation to the characters. And it's not to say that I don't with The Boys. I do.
Just not as much.
Just not as much.
Because like the last time you were into a show was Game of Thrones, and it was years. You were into it for a long time. Mm-hmm. What was before that? Anything?
Sopranos, Oz. That might be it.
And maybe the superhero genre for you.
Punisher.
Okay, other than Punisher.
And ironically enough, one of my least favorite superheroes.
Because I was thinking maybe just the superhero genre doesn't lend itself to TV series.
Maybe. I don't know.
Maybe things are just being stretched out into like too long of a series. Maybe things need to be miniseries. Make it 3-4 episodes.
But I also find that I'm in the minority. Like when I talk to people about those shows, most people seem to love them. I mean, look at Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. How long has that shit been on the air?
People just love TV.
Yeah, I think maybe that's...
You and I are the different ones. Who aren't like that.
It's a commitment, Mac.
It is.
God,
it's too much time, and when it gets too much, like I don't even know what's going on anymore. Like, and it makes me lose interest. Like, who's that guy again? Mm-hmm. Or like, what was the backstory? Like when it's like,
yeah. I get lost. I like some things. I'm like, I don't even know who the fuck this person is and what they're and keeping track of all these names. Like I struggle with that with Game of Thrones for a bit until I finally wrap my head around it.
Because there's a lot of fucking characters.
A lot of characters, and it's all fucking extra ass names. Like it's not like just fucking Mike.
There should be one Mike in there just to fuck with you.
I don't know.
No, I'm thinking maybe writers or producers, whatever it is, they're saying we want to keep the interest of the audience. Therefore, instead, just add more layers and more fucking interweaving plots to instead of being good, it's just being complicated.
Yeah.
Convoluted.
Yeah.
Because some people like that shit. Some people want incredible amount of layers in their story that you have to fucking do a fucking presentation about.
Right. Let's see what else I did. But I enjoyed The Boys. It was good. Acting is great.
And you done with it?
Yeah, it's done. It's 8 episodes.
I thought it was a season 2, no?
Oh, there probably is. I'll watch that. But it's not out yet,
Right.
But yeah, I'll watch more of it. But I'm glad that it's only 8. It took me fucking 2 weeks to watch between episode 6 and then 7, 8. Like, just because I'm like, I guess we can do this.
I mean, at this point, do you even call it good? And you subjectively for yourself, can you even call it good when it's like work?
But like, see, I think that's worth really examining because it's not that when I'm watching it, I don't enjoy it. I just like, if in my head, I'm like, man, okay, so I have 2 episodes left. So that's 2 hours. It's 2 hours I have to commit to this. And I've already committed 5 hours of my life to this and have no regrets about the 5 hours. But these last 2 hours, I'm just like, man, like, okay, so I go to bed at like 8 o'clock. and I have 2 hours before I really start getting sleepy. Sometimes less, depending on the day. And like I'm like, man, okay, so do I spend these 2 hours watching the show? You know? Or do I start organizing these photos that are up in my room and fuck my wife?
Right.
Because that sounds like more fun.
Yeah.
You know? And like that's the so I think it might have more to do with my lifestyle at this point in comparison to the amount of media I feel like I'm expected almost to consume.
I mean, because we do shit like this. But
well, this and like just conversations at work and, you know, conversations with fellow nerds. And then also like I'm a fan. Like I want to see it just to see the experience of it. But I'm also like, if I get 2 hours a day to myself, that's a luxury.
Yeah.
You know, so like, do I want to spend my 2 free hours sitting down in front of the television?
That's how I feel.
Usually not.
Like, I think there's a difference. Like, you have an extra fucking packed schedule. You're doing so much fucking shit. I don't have that much of a packed schedule, but I have my own interests. Mm-hmm. And it is not 2 hours. It's 2 hours of me not being able to do anything other than just sit there. I have to just sit there.
Correct. And look
and give like I have to do something. But I think most people, like, not a knock, but like the average person isn't like that. They have, once they have downtime, they sit.
Right.
And that's what, you know, they don't necessarily have hands-on active hobbies, and watching TV is part of the hobby.
Like me, I'd much rather put on music and do something else.
Right.
You know, like even if it's a conversation or whatever, like I'd rather do that. You know, I was thinking, man, and I get these delusions of grandeur sometimes. I do, and I'm cognizant of it. But like, I can't express to you how much I enjoyed dinner the other night.
Over the Pinkertons and us?
Yeah, I can't.
I loved
like,
it.
Dude,
great.
One of the best times I've had in a while. And I was thinking to myself, like, and forgive me. All right, I'm putting myself out there so you and Chris can shoot me down with all the logistical ways that it's impossible. Cool. I'm with the shits. I'm just voicing it because it's on my mind. I would love to do something like that every week. Like, even if it was something like, look, and I don't care whose house it's at, but like, whatever. Like, all right, we're going to go to Chris's house. Everybody chips in $5 a head. So the Skullface family chips in $25 and you guys chip in $10 and now it's $35 we put into the pot or whatever it is. Like, $10, whatever it is. And we go over there for dinner this week, and next week is at your house, and next week is at my house, and Adam, if he wants to get in on it, do one at his house, and like, have these moments, like it's like morale boosting and team building almost, but it's
and just like life.
But it's
enjoying life.
Yeah. But I think like Rockefeller used to do it, right? Like they had all these artists, they were signed to this label, and they were making millions of dollars, and there's all the things that come along with that, right? Money and business and women and drugs and alcohol and all the things, all the tropes that kind of come along with that lifestyle. But they used to have this thing called like Soul Food Sundays, where they all went over to one person's house and they all had dinner together. But it kept them tight, and it was something they got to look forward to. And sometimes, like, I feel like I just need something to look forward to at the end of the week. Like, sometimes I need that just to get through my fucking week. I'm like, God, if I don't have anything like set up, I start getting fucking down. Like, fuck, just another fucking day of more fucking shit. Where it's like, oh man, a couple days of fucking shit, and then I'm gonna have a fucking great dinner at such and such, and have some laughs and some drinks. Like, it gets me through the fucking week.
I mean, you have a lot of events. As for overall,
it's true, but that's because I need that.
Yeah. I definitely couldn't commit to every week, but at least a once a month thing would be great, or once every other week thing. Like I'm down. Like logistically, like you said, that's a problem. Like time is an issue. Like having the time on when to do it, and two, like me and Chris was like trying to figure out how to invite you guys, all of us, Adam, you, Chris, to dinner. Like, well, how much food do we make? What space do we have? They have kids. How many people is that? Like we don't have kids. So we don't.
Right.
Because normally, like, just invite them over. And Chris was like, no, you can't just invite them over. Together, they have like fucking 20 kids.
Yeah.
Well, I didn't think about that.
And I know you're trying to have people over, and I'm with it. But if it would make it easier, and you wanted to have it here, and you just wanted to cook here,
that's what Chris said.
Yeah,
I was
can do that.
Like, that would be weird.
No.
But I guess we went over for s'more, so that's fine.
That's wide open. That's a wide open option.
But yeah, I'm down to get together. I had a great time.
Yeah,
like how sometimes when you watch movies, like especially family movies or whatever, like when they have everyone get together for the dinner and the music plays. That's a happy time. At the end of the Christmas movie, everyone gets together and hang out. I'm like, that's the shit you want to do in life.
It charges my battery, man.
Yeah.
You know, like it just puts juice back in me. I can't explain it. Like I'm still living off of that. You know,
I mean, you're a very extrovert, very social person.
Yeah, I'm still riding that wave. You know,
that's why you have Halloween, and then you have I don't know what else.
And then we usually do crabs once a year, and then
you still got to do that.
Skullfest September
Fill.
So we're planning on September. We don't have it locked in yet. It's a teen. I think it's September 18th, somewhere around there. We're planning on it, but we don't know for sure yet. I'll let you know. I promise as soon as I know.
And then you have like 2 different Christmas events with you and the Adams.
Yeah. What else? We used to do game night and shit, but like folks don't show up anymore. Fuck, Candy's dead. Everybody's dying, and bummer.
Well, I like games. We like games. Me too. You let me know if you want to play some games.
I've been playing Donkey Kong Country a little bit with the kids.
Really?
Yeah.
On
that
what?
Game's
on the Switch?
Hard as fuck, dude.
Is it just a remake or
no?
It's an original game?
Yeah,
or
Typhoon Island or some shit. It's a new. I mean, it's relatively new. Came out like a year or two ago.
Plays the same.
Yeah.
Is it hard or do you just get trashed?
Dude, it's maybe a little bit of. Well, also,
are your kids beating you?
So here's the thing: we play on teams, right? Because you can play 2 people per level.
And Donkey and Diddy.
Yeah, or they usually choose the banana hair girl. I don't know her name.
I don't know who that is.
It's like she got like a ponytail. It looks like a banana though.
Okay.
Kind of goes with the theme.
Is it an ape?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
So me and Jaina play on one team, and Laura and Selena play on the other team. So like there is a couple things to it. So every time you use a continue, you use 2 continues because it's 2 people playing. Yeah. So like that makes it more challenging. And there's always this break, right? Because Selena's like 6, so like she's trash, and like you know what I mean. And like Laura's not great at video games either. So like I play and I'll like start to get in the groove of it. I'm like, okay, I got it. I got the rhythm of this thing now. And then I'll die and I had to give it to them. And then they play for 5 or 10 minutes, and then I've lost my rhythm and to get back. So there are other determining like factors that go into it, but it's fucking challenging. Like we spend pretty much an hour a level. Like, we're pretty.
I have to see it,
but we're also pretty far.
I think it's cool that you're not too old to play video games with the kids.
Yeah. No, I'm enjoying the shit out of it.
How's Zelda?
That one I need to get it.
Dude, you got Spider-Man like 2 years after you got Zelda, and you fucking 100% that shit.
It's logistics. So like, I can't take their Switch.
Oh right.
You know, and like they're always playing on it. Like dude, Celine's gotten like pretty good at Street Fighter.
Oh shit!
Like she's beating the shit out of Jaina. It's so fucking funny, dude. Like cause she's talking her shit. You know, she'll be like, "Don't worry, Jaina. If you want tomorrow, I can give you some lessons." Like dude, it's so good.
Definitely your kid.
Yeah, for sure. But yeah. So that's been cool, and then I think that's pretty much it.
And kids are going back to school soon.
Oh God, it can't come soon enough. It's about.
Well, you can't come soon enough for Laura. Probably she'll miss it.
Right. In about 2 weeks, I'm gonna start fucking with Jaina. That's when I start. It's the most wonderful time of the year, with new backpacks and fresh brand new clothes and some proper new gear. It's the most wonderful time. Dude, she gets so upset.
She fucking hated school.
Oh my God, can't stand it. Some of that shit, I'm like, man, I don't know if you hate this or if you're playing in, or is it just because your ass can't sit on the fucking couch? Is it because you're not being challenged? Mm-hmm. Or is it because you've fallen into the trope of I'm a kid, therefore I must hate school?
I think that could be some of that, where like I'm not supposed to.
Right, I'm not supposed to like this.
Or like even just hanging out doing nothing. It's like I'm supposed to want to do nothing, so I'm just gonna sit on this couch.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Let me think what else, if any. Oh, I got my Doctor Strange.
You said something about something that's being limp on it?
The knee is like a loose as fuck. And it's actually so loose that as I was fucking with it initially, like I worked it out of the joint. Like it came out of the thigh, and the leg like looked like he like had a broken leg, like in his pants, because like they stayed in the pants, but like the leg was like flopping around.
Is it just your unit or is it
I don't fucking know. I'll ask Chris. He got one as well.
And you're not worried about UPS anymore. It's fucking Sideshow can deal with them, right?
Correct. As soon as I get all of these last Marvel ones that I have on pre-order, I'm going to have a real come to Jesus moment regarding Hot Toys.
I mean, I'm surprised you haven't decided that already and canceling stuff.
Because I've already paid the down payment.
It's non-refundable.
Non-refundable.
Well, at least you can sell this shit.
Yeah, exactly.
You're not gonna lose money on this shit.
Exactly. So I gotta really think about it because that franchise doesn't mean to me, but I thought it was gonna mean to me. And
I mean, are you so far that you don't even want to watch more movies?
No, I'm gonna watch more movies, but like just where like I was like, dude, I'm all in. Like I'm drinking the Marvel Kool-Aid. And now I put my glass back on the shelf. Like, I'm just going back to just enjoying the movies regularly. Where I enjoy another movie regularly. Like I enjoy Lord of the Rings, but I wouldn't get Lord of the Rings hot toys. Maybe Smeagol. That would be it.
I mean, you have the statue.
Yeah, no, it's a trash statue.
You wouldn't have a Gandalf?
Probably not. Like I don't like that. That's my big beef with Lord of the Rings. Like so I love Lord of the Rings. I think I put it in my top 5.
Yeah, you did.
Okay,
trilogy.
Yeah. So like I love Lord of the Rings. That being said, I don't love the characters. That's why I never got full hard on for Lord of the Rings, because the only character that I really love is Smeagol. I don't love any of the other characters.
Sam. Everyone loves Sam.
Well, I mean, so I don't dislike any of them either. They're just all sort of it's cool. Yeah, they're not on the A list. You know what I mean? It's like you invite all the people to the party, and then like so this guy called out, so it's like, okay, he can come. And it's not that you don't want him to come. You're happy that he's coming, but he wasn't on the first round draft pick.
Is it because they're not relatable?
I don't think. I think it's because I think some of it is character design. Like I don't think any of them look especially cool, and I don't think that a lot of them have like. I need that dialogue for me to really jump into a character. And I don't think that those characters have especially strong dialogue. When you think about the shit that
there's not that much dialogue that's memorable.
A lot of walking, more so walking than dialogue. But I feel like I like the tree.
Yes,
like I like the tree more than I like most of the characters. But I think it's because and I like that Marilyn Manson face guy. Do you know what I'm saying? Like
Wormtongue?
No. He was like he was only in the uncut edition of Return of the King.
I probably haven't seen it.
He was at the gate, like he was like the gatekeeper.
Oh,
yeah. They call him the Mouth of Sauron.
Yeah, the Mouth of Sauron. Yeah. His eyes got a helmet over.
Yeah.
I think I figure of him coming out.
That's super cool character design.
Yeah.
So like I'm into him. But I feel like the rest of the character design is like kind of fine, and then like they don't have the.
I think because they wanted to like, I know it's high fantasy, but I think they wanted to be still more down to earth and not fucking
Middle
super
Dude, somebody gave me some love on a joke I made. I think it was YK gave me some love on it was a Tool joke I made last week that kind of got shuffled over, and they're like, dude, nobody gave him the love on a Tool joke there. So yeah,
yep.
I appreciate it. But I think like you listen to the shit that people quote from that shit, like potatoes. That's not a fucking cool thing to say. You know what I mean? Like
brace yourself.
Like even like the give me everything. Yeah. It's fucking cool, man. Like it's something about it. It has some swag to it and like some attitude and drama in it. But potatoes, this shit is not fucking cool. You know. Yeah. I think that's the wall I bump into at Lord of the Rings more often than not, and I say that loving it. Yeah. It's just that's why it doesn't go super high for me. Smeagol's lines, fucking great. Hobbises and all that shit. Like people say that shit all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Like
precious.
The precious, exactly. Like he has that magic to him. I forget how we got here. Oh, so that's kind of
Strange came in.
Yeah, that's kind of where I am with Marvel at the moment. And I don't think Shang-Chi is gonna do it for me. You know what I mean? Like I'm just making an assumption. Mm-hmm. Like I can't see that character being the one. I'm like, oh yeah, fuck, I'm back in. And I already kind of know where Spider-Man is in this universe, and T'Challa and Doctor Strange.
I mean, I think the only reason we can have him is because we have 10 years worth of movies to establish the world already. They couldn't have thrown him in there like 5 years ago and have anyone care.
I think the only thing that could make me kind of start drinking the Kool-Aid again is that mutant gene. Like you throw that shit in there, and I'll start sipping the Kool-Aid, and it sips, small sips, snips.
Not like the rest of us, like me and Chris. And
yeah. I'm not gonna be guzzling. You guys are fucking beer ponging or beer. What does it call it?
Beer
bonging.
Fucking old.
I never did that, by the way.
Me either.
There's certain shit that felt too druggy to me.
Too much paraphernalia. You gotta get a hose.
You gotta get fucking accessories for this shit. And to be honest, I didn't start drinking beer probably till I was in my 30s.
Oh, really?
Yeah, like when I used to show at the party, we brought the fifth.
Oh yeah,
like that's that. We were the fifth boys. Like everybody had E&J because somebody robbed a train close to us that had E&J on it, and everybody carried like a fifth or a pint in their back pocket, and that was how we got loose. And then Mario, I'll never forget, dude. I miss that dude so much. I love that dude so much. But That dude, like, he was always worried about how people saw him, and he wanted to be the class act and the whole, and he fucking was living in that fucking shithole, and this, like, you know what I mean, had like dirty clothes in a pile on his, you know what I mean. So it was always a funny kind of dynamic when you got to see behind the closed doors. But like, he would show up to the party with like a fifth of cask and cream. Like, get the fuck out of here,
fancy.
Yeah. Also, last thing I did was I watched The Phantom Menace at my wife's request.
By yourself or family?
No, family movie night. So, we just finished up Rebels, and then we watched a couple in between. We watched a couple movies in between. I can't remember what they were. And my wife was like, look, I want to watch the Star Wars movies again before 9 comes out, because sometimes I still get confused in my head as to the timeline of them all. And I was like, yeah, well,
I mean, are you starting now? You're going to do the other 7?
Correct. Okay. I was like, it's going to twist my arm and break it, Joseph. So I was like, yeah, cool. We'll start. So we put in Phantom Menace. And it's funny because like my kids like enjoy it more and more every year, because like they're getting a little older and they've kind of started growing. They've grown up with it, So like it's interesting to see that happen. Like Selena get into it and whatever.
It's tradition.
Yeah. So we haven't seen it in 2 years, right? Because we were watching Clone Wars and then Rebels back to back. So we haven't seen it in 2 years. And guess what? The CGI is starting to show its age. Like, I don't feel like I noticed it 2 years ago, but watching it this past, and I'm also
see it because I'm thinking off the top of my head because I watched it 2 years ago.
Now I also got a 4K TV now.
Oh,
and
TV's too good.
All this shit. So like, I'm looking at it, I'm like, man, like oddly enough, the close-ups still work.
Huh.
But a lot of the far away stuff is starting to show its age.
I think part of it is because the way they used to make far away stuff work is make it blurry. Like, if it's not clear, then your mind can adjust and believe it more. But if now it's crystal clear, then you're going to see all the faults in it.
Like the battle tanks and stuff, like the hover tanks, like when they're coming down the hill, it's like, oh, that doesn't look good. That looks bad.
I have to see it again.
I mean, it doesn't look atrocious, but it's definitely starting to show its age. Like in a post-Infinity War in-game world, it's starting to show its age.
Yeah, I mean, which is fucking great. 20.
Yeah, it had a good run.
Yeah, because like I thought it held well a couple years ago, but I hardly watched things on the big screen.
So did I. A couple years ago, so did I. But now I'm like, eesh.
Seeing 4K TV might be too much, man.
Sometimes I think the same.
Like it's unreal. It's too clear.
Well, I turned that setting, that one setting off, and it's not a 4K DVD.
Okay.
So to be fair, also, but I turned that one setting off where it looks like a fucking soap opera all the time. I turned that shit off. I can't get that shit the fuck out of here.
Have you ever? It was just happened to me the other day. Me and Chris walked outside from something. I looked up and like at the sky. I'm like, that shit is too low def. Like I looked at the clouds. I'm like, that's trash graphics. This simulation sucks. Because like the fucking TV is more clear than outside. Right. So I don't think ultra high definition is good. Have you seen the like remastered or redrawn like Tom and Jerry in full 4K?
No.
It was hard to look at.
Really?
It was so smooth. Like my mind couldn't handle it.
Huh.
With the pull-ups.
Now I want to see it.
Afterwards. Like they redrew it so that the animation is like super fluid.
Now I want to see it.
But anyway, like I think just regular HD is good for me. I've seen stuff in 4K and I'm like, that's cool, but I don't need it.
I'm not sure how much. See,
but I know that's the standard.
Yeah, and I'm usually behind the curve. So I'm not exactly sure if I don't even know what movies I've seen on 4K on the 4K player.
All right, just because it's a 4K TV doesn't mean it's broadcasting.
Correct. But whatever. So we got a couple notes to get into. Not too much. So the She-Ra cartoon. Did you ever watch it? The new one?
I watched the first season. We're gonna watch the second season.
Okay, so in that I was reading this article. Bo's parents are gay. Like he's got 2 fathers.
I don't remember that.
So they said it in this article.
Well, he's super flamboyant.
Is he in the show?
I mean,
in his original design was.
Yeah, I mean, he's got a heart cut out, and I mean his behavior. I mean,
it's suggestive.
It's suggestive. Of,
yeah. I agree. Well, Katra and Scorpia are going to be have a romance.
I'm not surprised.
Me neither.
After watching the first season, especially.
And it kind of always seems like that's possible, especially with Katra. Like when I think about the older ones, I'm like, man, I can see that being the case. Scorpia, she looks a little bit like Road Pig from G.I. Joe, doesn't she? Doesn't she? Doesn't she? Hold on.
You're
not being fair.
Side by side.
You're not being fair.
I mean, she's a little bit masculine, but
no, the head, the hair. Hold on a second. Let me turn off my Wi-Fi. It's trash. When I saw it, it was like the very first thing I thought of. Yeah, my internet's down. Maybe there's some shit going on. Hold on one second. Let me pause this. Okay, so there's Scorpia.
Uh-huh.
All right. There's Road Pig. You're gonna say there's no similarity?
Just the haircut and color, maybe.
The haircut, color,
the
build. Even like the kind of armor-esque, like it definitely looks like it's inspired. That was my very first gut reaction to seeing it. I don't even remember Scorpia in the.
I don't remember the show.
I remember Catra though. I had a thing for her. That was one of the two I requested when my dad took me down the She-Ra aisle was Catra, and she was part of the Horde. Like she rolled with Hordak and them. So, but yeah, they're going to be like straight up in a relationship. So.
I don't remember them talking about relationships too much in that first season.
So let's see what it says. It says, what makes the development more meaningful is that audiences have had 2+ seasons to watch their relationship grow. Scorpia's nervousness is relatable as she works up the courage to confess her love for Catra.
That's definitely noticeable from the first season that like she had, yeah.
Beau's dad, introduced into the series as a married couple, Beau's dads.
Mm-hmm.
And in one episode, we understood how happy they were together, but they're minor characters. Drawing out the budding relationship between Catra and Scorpia doesn't come across as a stunt or a novelty. We've seen how rushing these situations lead to bad receptions.
No, it's been built up since the get-go.
In contrast, She-Ra's third season carefully treads the playful line, even if Catra is in denial. So, there you go.
Yeah, I don't have anything against that. Like,
yeah, I don't care.
A lot of people on this table didn't care for the She-Ra.
I haven't watched it.
I enjoyed it.
I haven't watched it yet. I would watch it, but I wasn't a big fan. I liked the characters, but I wasn't a big fan of the show when I was a kid.
I mean, I just watched it as something easy to watch,
right,
and follow,
right.
And I like the design. I like how she transforms into this fucking big Amazon person when she's in the She-Ra persona, and she's like,
see, I haven't even seen that.
Yeah, she is. It's not like He-Man, like it's not like Prince
Adam.
Adam is just He-Man with some super tight clothes on.
Mm-hmm.
He's not like a regular dude who turns into a fucking hulked out dude.
Right.
Yeah.
So the next note says, I'm not mad. I'm just unimpressed.
Oh.
All right, let me read this. I found this to be interesting. As Disney begins to evaluate its recent acquisition of Fox and its various properties, the likelihood of the New Mutants receiving a wide theatrical release remains in doubt. Following a quarterly earnings call with Disney CEO Bob Iger, Fox's recent flop Dark Phoenix was singled out as a reason for the studio's quarterly loss. Now a new report claims that Disney is unimpressed with Fox's New Mutants and sees it as having limited potential for box office success upon its planned theatrical release. The release of the horror-tinged X-Men spinoff has been delayed from its initial planned release date of April 13th, 2018, several times before landing its current release date of April 3rd of next year.
Right? It's been done.
Disney confirmed the film is still planned to receive a theatrical release as of May. Reshoots to complete the film's ending have yet to take effect. Directed and co-written by Josh Boone, the film follows a group of mutants that discover their new abilities and they find themselves stalked by a sinister antagonist in a secret government facility where they are held captive.
Sinister?
Yeah. Well, so here's the thing. I think unimpressed is like a terrible fucking thing to say. Like I know
it's like looking down at my nose.
Yeah, like I know they're saying it to not say it's trash, but it's
worse. It's worse.
It's worse. Like I'm just simply unimpressed.
Yeah.
Like that's fucking cold. I'm gonna start saying that.
It's the like equivalent of I'm not mad. I'm just disappointed.
Yeah, that's why I put it in that note. Like I'm gonna start saying that shit. Like when I look at when I look at a figure, I'm just gonna be like, look, I am unimpressed. This is cold blooded.
I mean, are you gonna care about watching this at all? You're not gonna watch Dark Phoenix, are you?
Yeah, I'll watch it. I'm not gonna see it in the theater. Obviously,
I mean,
it's going probably.
We can make a group event.
But I'm definitely gonna watch it. I wanted to see it in the movies, and what's funny is
even though you know it's trash, you're gonna watch.
Yeah, for sure. I think New Mutants was supposed to come out this week.
Oh shit!
Because I have X-Men written on my calendar upstairs, so I wonder if it was supposed to come out this week.
But it's still under the what was that? Under the Fox label, so it's not going to confuse people with Marvel stuff, right?
Correct.
That's the only thing I worry about. Don't get that shit mixed up.
Yeah, at this point, I think it's more risky. Like, it'll do more harm than good. Yeah. Like, just shelve it. Yep. You don't lose any of that. You know, put it straight out to DVD. Use it as a bonus feature for the next. You know what I mean? Like,
whole movie is a bonus feature.
How fucking insulting would that shit be? You know, but like, I don't think there's any need to do it. You know, like I don't see what Disney.
I mean, it's just
gains,
the fact
other than the fact that they had no money invested in, so everything is profit.
Yeah, I mean, the fact that it's fucking made already.
Yeah,
it would be dumb not to put it out one way or another.
Yeah, I can't see them putting.
Wait till fucking Disney Plus comes out, and then they can just fucking
put it on
that
there.
Shit.
Yeah.
Any idea when?
November.
Oh yeah, just do that.
Yeah. I think that's the smarter move. I don't know. All right, so we have. I'm not mad. I'm just unimpressed. And then the next note is Marvelous Horror. So they're doing a Marvel horror TV series. It's going to start with Ghost Rider, and then they're going to move it into Hellstrom. Jeff Loeb is involved with it as well. It says, while speaking to Deadline, Loeb discussed how the upcoming Ghost Rider and Hellstrom would be joined under the Adventures into Fear moniker, and that more shows would eventually fall under its umbrella. So we started with Ghost Rider. We went out and managed to get Gabriel Luna to come back and reproduce the role he played in S.H.I.E.L.D. Then we're going to do Hellstrom, and then there's a couple more that we haven't yet revealed to the world yet. Loeb did not explain what those shows might be, but given the number of other horror characters that exist in the Marvel Universe, the possibilities are numerous. In addition, Marvel will also release 4 adult animated series based on the characters Howard the Duck, MODOK, Hitmonkey, Tigra, and Dazzler on Hulu, which will culminate in the special The Offenders.
I don't know. The comic book stuff is too over the top to be scary, to be like horror. You know what I mean? Like the Resident Evil movies weren't fucking horror because they became too actiony and too like flashy and over the top. It doesn't give you that horror feel.
And my thing is like, what are they doing with this television shit? Like, is it in universe? Is it out of universe?
That's another question.
Like Loeb handled most of the Netflix shit. That shit's out.
It's not in universe no more?
Well, I mean, I don't know if it's in universe anymore.
In the Marvel Cinematic Universe?
But it's dead.
For now.
But Loeb handled most of that. The guy who played Cottonmouth is now playing Blade.
Right.
You know, like...
I mean, that's fine.
I mean, I guess so. But what I'm saying is, like, it seems like they don't give a fuck about it, and it seems like they weren't entirely happy with the Netflix situation. But I guess they were happy with Loeb. I don't know. And I don't think, like, Loeb did a phenomenal... I mean, I love Jeff Loeb, but I don't feel like a lot of these Netflix shows are all that much better than fucking Heroes, which he did fucking 15 years ago.
Yeah. How is the public reception of the Marvel TV series? So it seems like it's decent.
I think it started off strong, but I think it's almost like indifference now.
Because people love that shit.
Yeah, like people talked about it at first. Everybody talked about it at first. Yeah. But now I don't feel like I heard anybody talk about Jessica Jones season 3.
No, not really.
You know?
But it's not shot on either.
No, but I think mostly it's on. I haven't seen
it. Unimpressed.
Unimpressed. Dude, I think it was Iron Fist that was the first time that left people unimpressed.
Yeah, I think that was a downfall.
And they never really recovered after that.
I think that was my point, too. Like, I watched Iron Fist, and then since then I haven't watched anything else.
The one that I had a hard time recovering from was Defenders. That was the one that I was like, oh, wow, that's really bad.
I didn't get that
like,
far.
It's a joke bad. You know what I mean? Like, this is worse than bad. It's unimpressive, for one, but also it's a fucking joke.
So, like, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. is part of the cinematic universe.
Yes.
Right? But the Netflix stuff isn't tied to Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
No, not directly.
They can just throw it in.
They could make a clean cut.
Yeah.
Because the only ties to it are, like, little things in the Netflix shows.
Like mentions.
Correct.
Easter eggs or whatever.
And nothing blatant. You know, like they talk about the event. You know, which is obviously the Avengers 1.
Or like, I don't have a magic hammer, shit like that.
Yeah. But that doesn't necessarily correlate to anything in the fucking Marvel. You know, there could be an event inside this universe that happened in New York with the Chitauri or whatever. Like, it could, you know what I mean? It doesn't have to be the same.
Yeah, I it's fine. Like, I haven't seen any of the... I don't know... None of the new Marvel TV shows has come out. They have announced a shit ton. So I'm just worried that they're going to be spreading themselves too thin and it's going to be too fucking much and not... quantity over quality is what I'm worried about.
Right.
And again, with a horror label, I don't know. I don't know if that's something that Marvel needs to get into.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm not going to watch it because I don't give a shit.
You don't like Ghost Rider?
I like Ghost Rider well enough, but I don't like any of their television shows enough
I didn't watch
to gain any interest. I liked Punisher and Daredevil enough, but even that, like Punisher season 2 didn't really do it for me. It was fine.
Yeah.
You know?
It was like season 1.
Yeah.
Yeah, the only thing remotely close to horror that I've gotten from Marvel is the fucking Mysterio, Spider-Man's first encounter with Mysterio.
What about
horror? That read as horror because like that made me anxious.
Yeah, well, so it made me anxious
when the zombie Iron Man was coming towards him.
Yeah, it made me anxious, but it didn't. I don't know if it made me scared. You know what I mean? I don't know if it had a horror impact on me. Let's see. We have, and the last note is because you can't have one of anything. There was a trailer for the second season of Titans. Did you watch that at all?
I didn't. Do you watch the first season?
No. Adam actually, I think, watched it this past week, so I was hoping that he was going to be here to talk about it. He is not. But it seems like more of the same to me. It seems super dark. You know, where it's too much. Like it's too like
it's trying too hard.
Yeah, where it's like
that goth kid that won too much.
It's the mortal souls. Mortal souls. It's the mortal souls, man.
Yeah,
it's too much.
It becomes comical.
Yeah,
right?
Where I got it, but that's just
Lord.
That's just me reading a book by its cover. I would be happy to give it a go. Not to say that I could commit to the whole thing because I really don't care.
Again, it's because we're not TV people.
If this shit isn't a movie, dude, this is a terrible thing to say. If it's not in a movie, it doesn't count. It's kind of how I feel. Like,
yeah. I mean, if it doesn't have an impact in the universe, that does it matter?
Yeah.
Unless in a movie they directly reference something from the TV,
right?
Then that would change the story.
I don't feel like I feel like the Marvel Netflix shit could have gotten rolling, but. You know, by the time Iron Fist and Luke Cage started coming around, it was gone. It was they could have capitalized on, they didn't.
I mean, they started off strong.
Yeah, and I mean, I would have.
I feel like a missed opportunity.
Yeah, I think if it had gotten strong, they could have really tied it together. Like in that scene where Doctor Strange and them are fighting those monsters in New York.
Yes.
If you'd have had them on the street fighting as well, like
even just in the background.
Yeah. Like that shit would have meant the world to but it never landed the same way.
Yeah.
Shit's hard, man. Like the production value has to be so high in order to make that shit seem seamless.
I mean, it's not related too, right? Because that was Netflix shit. It's not Marvel's own personal shit. That's why it's all getting canceled. Mm-hmm. If it was under Marvel's flag, they probably would have had the cameos.
Yeah,
and then it would have made it matter more, and then you would want to see more TV shows,
right? And I understand Marvel wanting to be protective of their properties with the shit show they've gotten themselves involved in over the past 20 years. You know, with Fox owning this and Sony owns that and blah blah blah. But, at the same time, it has to, the amount of time that you're asking people to donate from their lives to invest into this, you have to make it pay off for them.
Yeah. Which did not happen for you.
No, not at all. Which is fine. It's fine. I actually got into a pretty decent Marvel discussion recently, and I'm starting to hear a little bit, like a lot of people I've talked to this week, they've been like, man, so, I got Endgame on digital. I'm like, yeah, how was it? You watched it the second time? I started it. That movie's really long. It's like, oh, it wasn't fucking long a fucking year ago or fucking 3 months ago. So it's got long all of a sudden. So I'm keeping my ear to the grindstone a little bit. I'm starting to hear the rumblings. It's fine. I'll play the long game. I'm a patient man. So I wanted to talk about family and the ninja family from Mortal Kombat.
Oh, yes.
Now, do we include in this conversation the cyborgs?
Yeah.
Okay. So
it's fucking put the girls in there too.
Okay.
Because they're all just rainbow people, so to speak.
Yes. I agree. So let me say this: when we had this conversation, this is about merit and story and kind of importance to the content rather than personal favorites.
Yes.
Like for instance, Smoke is one of my personal favorites to play, but I don't think he's necessary.
No.
Okay.
Yeah, same. Like I love Smoke, but who cares?
Right. Noob Saibot. Not necessary. Let me ask you a more challenging one. Fucking what's his name? Reptile.
That's
a tricky one.
That's a rough one, just because
there's so much history.
Yeah, like it's hard to let go of Reptile from the get go. He's a special boy.
Mm-hmm. Reptile, the special boy.
Like the fucking. Just remember before the internet, the special times for you, before the magical times.
Yes.
When there was like rumor of,
yes.
There's that green ninja down in the pit. There's some way to get him.
Yep.
Dude, there's a fucking silhouette in the moon.
Yeah.
You know?
Yep.
Like,
dude, it's so good.
It's Reptile is special.
Yeah, he is.
But we don't need him.
We don't need him.
But he's like my favorite.
Yeah, he's awesome, but we don't need
even
him.
in Mortal Kombat the movie. His cameo, I remember as a kid, fucking 12 or whatever.
How does that CGI hold up? I'm guessing very poorly.
Poorly, but the fight scene was good. But I remember when he was like, oh shit, Reptile.
When he gets into the carcass.
Exactly, and turns into the...
Reptile.
Dude, I lost my shit.
Yeah, it's fucking great. I mean, it's terrible, but it's fucking great. Rain.
Purple guy?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Purple Rain?
Purple Rain. Dude, I never put that together. I bet you that is what they were doing there. Because they're big into like pop culture references.
And like a lot of hidden meanings and shit. Like
God,
Noob Saibot is like backwards of what's his
Ed
face?
Boon and Tobias.
Somebody,
yeah. And he's not really involved with it anymore. I wonder why he went his own way. There's probably a YouTube video about it.
Make enough money, peace out.
Yeah, but I'm like, they were in it together. It'd be like, it would be like, so I don't know, something else like. Like two guys that are in it to win it from the very beginning that create this thing, and then all of a sudden one's like, fuck it. I wonder. Let's see what else.
Creative differences.
Maybe. I bet you there's a YouTube video. But I'm gonna put that on my list, or somebody send me a link. What else?
Ermac, the red one.
Ermac.
I think he becomes pivotal in the story nowadays. I think he's
so like, too, but I don't need him. Get him out of here.
He has telekinesis and shit, right? He just throws people around.
Yeah, and like he kind of. To be fair, he ends up kind of becoming very different. Like
he's not even a ninja anymore.
He looks
he's
like
a sorcerer.
Like a sorcerer.
Yeah, so like he's pivotal to the story. So I'll say this: we'll keep him as he is now.
Yes, but
get it matter as a ninja.
Yes. Okay, I'm on board.
What does fucking Rain? Is Rain still? I don't even remember his moves.
I think so. They had the lightning bolt that came down.
Oh, okay.
That's the one. I think that was like most people's go-to.
Yeah.
Let's see. So
we have to have Scorpion Sub-Zero. Not even.
Yeah. So Scorpion is
everyone's personal favorite, and they pivotal to the story.
Yes, you have to have both of them. Now, what about Sub-Zero's brother?
Well, Sub-Zero's brother replaces Sub-Zero.
See, I'm get him out of here.
So you're good with no Sub-Zero?
No, I want a Sub-Zero, and you can be one or the other. I don't give a shit which, but I don't want two.
Because there's a whole clan of Sub-Zeros.
Yeah, but I don't want the Red Scar guy, and then like put the fucking mask on and fucking get in the game.
Okay, get his brother out of here. What about Frost?
Okay, so I don't need her.
Yeah, I don't need her. I just like her.
Yeah, I like her too.
She's got a cool design.
I like all of them.
Ninja.
I like all of them. See, that's my thing. I like Mortal Kombat.
I can say I like Rain.
I like Rain.
Really? That's the one I can really just throw away.
Yeah, I like him, but I don't need him at all. Jade. I don't need her.
She's supposed to be like the reptile of the girls, but I don't
super sexy.
I think she's the Asian one, right?
I think they're all.
I'm pretty sure not. I'm pretty sure she's specifically very Asian.
Melina might not be. I think Katana is. She's definitely Asian in the movie.
I think they're
Katana was
Hispanic or
Katana?
South American.
See, I almost put Jade in the more Hispanic or maybe like Middle Eastern before I put Katana there.
Really? Because I thought it was the other way around. I think the name Katana is very Japanese
for sure, but
like I've always seen them as not very Asian.
And I wonder if the movie makes me think they're Asian also.
I mean, she's definitely not an Asian chick playing Katana.
No?
The first one?
Yeah, she has a little Asian swag, you know?
Like, are you sure?
Yeah.
She looks Hispanic to me.
Well, so here's the thing. I would put her like in that Filipino pocket where, there's just a little bit of column A, a little bit of column B over there.
I mean, it's a way to like check all the boxes, so to speak.
Because she's a little thick too, and that's usually,
she didn't have much of the...
A little bit. Not crazy. You want it to be, see, that's you want it to be crazy.
No.
You want a 16x4.
Dude, I'm Asian. Most of the time, I can tell someone is Asian if I looked at them.
What is
IMDb?
Let's pause this real quick. And
she's Puerto Rican.
Okay, so that's one on the scoreboard for Joe. I also want to take note though that I was right about the road pig.
Yes, I'll give that to you. Now that I saw the side by side,
so 2-1.
We're keeping score. Okay,
well, I'm just it became a bit for today. Okay, so who's next? But I don't know. In my head, she looked Asian to me in that. I mean, that's interesting.
I think her body actor for the game was not Asian either.
I think that's true. But I don't know. I always saw her as being Asian.
I mean, I think it's supposed to read just like Sub-Zero and Scorpion. I think they're supposed to read as Asian. They're supposed to be Asian, but they weren't played by Asian people.
Melina, I felt like could go either way. She's like a monster.
Yeah,
so it's like,
I'm fine with her being whatever.
But both of them are necessary.
Yes.
Okay.
Especially because they also have a relationship with each other and with the overall arcing story. They're
correct.
Like the stepdaughter of the other.
Yes.
Their world was Katana's world was destroyed, and
that Outworld. All right, and then Scarlet.
I don't even know Scarlet.
So here's the thing about Scarlet. Scarlet's like the reptile of Mortal Kombat 2, except it was just rumor.
Mortal Kombat 2?
Mm-hmm. So in Mortal Kombat 2, when you got to Shao Kahn, Katana was chained up in the back. But there was a glitch where every now and then she would show up red.
Oh.
And people used to say, nah, she's a character. You can find her in the game if you do 2 perfects and an uppercut at just the right point, then you fight Scarlet. Right. And that's Scarlet. And it was just like one of those things. Just like you remember in Mortal Kombat 2, animality was like, I think it was called bestiality. People used to say, because we were kids and we didn't know what it meant.
Yeah.
And we were like, dude, there's bestialities. I was like, no, I don't think so. It was like, I've never seen one. It's like, I've seen it.
Yeah.
But there never was. And then they added the animality into the third one.
But that's the beauty of the creator of the games was that
100%.
They so much shit came from rumor. They're like, oh, there's a rumor of this. Let's make it happen.
Yeah.
Update the game.
So they added Scarlet recently into the game.
Oh, okay. See,
and she's sexy.
Is it the same thing, just different color? No, very different.
So it's red. She's red instead of green or blue. But like now in the current games, it's not like just the same outfit swapped. Like she's got.
They all have different outfits.
But I mean,
more so than Jay, because Jay's. Look that shit up,
dude. Money in the bank. Shorty, what you drank? But yeah,
but I can definitely do without her then.
So I can, but I really want to see her. I really want to see her bad.
That's how I feel like my reptile.
No, it's not the same. Okay, and then Smoke. Wasn't there? There was a Smoke cyborg. Get him out of here.
Yeah.
There was a
Cyrax.
So there was Cyrax and Sector. I want to say this for last. There was also wasn't there a Sub-Zero, like a blue cyborg? I think there was.
Can't tell for sure.
I think there was. But get him out of here also.
Yeah, because if I can't remember you.
He can go join the maskless brother, as far as I'm concerned.
with the Psylocke red stripe down his eye?
Yes, exactly. Like, who's that guy that has, Scion. Scion from Knights of the Old Republic 2? Cyborg Sub-Zero, I'm pretty sure. I can see it in my head.
Do you want any of the cyborgs? Or you say just fuck the cyborgs altogether?
Yeah, he was there. He was in there. He was like a special character, I think, or something. So here's the thing. I'm down to have Cyrax and Sector, but if I had to choose between one, I would pick Sector, and I'm not sure why. Maybe. I feel like Cyrax was the more popular one.
Is he? Because
I feel like he is in my head. The yellow one, right? That's
yeah. Maybe because I don't know. Red is a better color than yellow, and fucking he had missiles instead of a net.
Yeah, but the net was fucking cool.
It was useful.
It was useful. That's what I mean. Yeah, but I'm not sure why. And I can't remember the story components of either of them, so I can't remember if that is why my mind is telling me to keep Sector and not Cyborg. But all right, that covers it. So we do have some questions this week. We actually have a fair amount. One that I wanted to get into, we kind of just got, and it was posted into Patreon, but I think it was intended to just be answered right there. But I think it's a worthwhile conversation. I wish upon a star. I wish Chris was here. But he said, this is from Caleb. He says, so as someone who has Marvel, Star Wars, and DC Hot Toys, do you feel one line gets more love than the other? Do you think more love went into this one versus Aquaman, for example, talking about the Doctor Strange? Just curious because I'm mostly stuck with Star Wars Hot Toys, wondering if they give more attention to one franchise versus the other. So I said I'll answer this today on NRR, and he said, nice, man. I'm wondering if it comes down to character design and how Marvel and DC approach the costumes on screen. DC has a very shiny metallic sheen look for their costumes, where Marvel has more of a fabric leather feel, at least to me. Wondering if one works better than the other in 1/6. Star Wars has that same feel to Marvel, more organic, or for lack of a better term, where DC is more heroic looking. So I think there is probably something to that. Like I would imagine that there's a budget. I would imagine that each figure, but I would almost think it's more so based figure to figure than franchise to franchise.
Yeah, because all the figures are priced to MSRP similarly but differently. Like
right, $20 to $30.
Yeah,
but like I would imagine that it's like, look, this figure is going to sell like hotcakes. Your budget for this is higher. This figure like Flash, may not sell as well. Your budget for this is lower. In terms of the production team or the design team. It makes sense to me.
Like outside looking in, I don't see a difference between the lines. I see difference sometimes between figure and figure, but I don't.
Well, that's what I'm getting at.
I think Hot Toys, because I don't think they have a fucking dog in the fight. Who is a better franchise? No. They just need to sell more figures.
Correct.
So they got to have their own name, like stay good. So they have to do everything good.
But would you invest as much money in, if you were the head of Hot Toys, would you invest as much money into Rose Tico as you would into Ray?
No.
That's what I'm getting at. Is there's probably a budget difference based on character and what they think the projection is for the success of that character. Because I do feel like this Doctor Strange I just got came with all the fucking trays and trays and trays of accessories and all sorts of bells and whistles.
The price reflect that?
I can't remember.
Okay.
But it's still in the same general pocket. It's not like it was outrageous. It's not like it was $300 and some dollars. Still $220 to $250 somewhere in there, which isn't that much more than say Flash or Aquaman. But I feel like they did not get that amount of love.
See, because
whereas I feel like Wonder Woman did.
I would have figured that for.
Whoa, figured. I see what you did there. You little pun puppy.
Fuck. God damn it,
pun puppy.
Is that what you call that fucking dog now?
It just came.
That fucking husky?
I should.
That's the pun puppy?
It just came to mind. You little pun puppy. I think like my dad used to say little kumquat. You ever hear that expression?
No.
No. I don't know. Today it seems weird to hear that from a parent because but I think it's like a fruit or something. Like it's like a
vegetable fruit.
Yeah,
like a cucumber.
Yeah, I think it's something like that. A kumquat, but like it sounds sexual to me now.
Yeah,
but yeah,
anything with cum.
Yeah,
dude. I cannot. I deal with a lot of names in my work. Mm-hmm. A lot of customers, and I have to know all of the names. Mm-hmm. So it's not a single time that the name like Cox go by without me thinking about Cox. Yeah. It doesn't matter how many times I've fucking seen it,
dude. I still whenever I hear in church church songs when they do the "Oh Come All Ye Faithful," I start laughing like in my head, like it's so funny to me. Like just all the faithful just start coming all over the place. Oh. But yeah, I think that I don't know. I think that there is more love that goes into the more. But yeah,
see, I was gonna say I sort of figured that the shoe-ins that like everyone's gonna buy Doctor Strange, that they could put less in it because they're gonna sell it anyway, where they would have to add more accessories to try and upsell someone who's not popular.
That's a good point. Unless it outweighed the profit margins. Unless they were like, look, we can't give you more money for more accessories for Flash because we don't think it's going to make enough to pay it back. Where we rather make $20 than $15.
Yeah, I like the price. It goes back to the numbers. Like, I don't know how much it costs to produce these things, but it can't be the fucking same. Making a tailored suit cannot be the same as sculpting an armor. You know what I mean? Like, even though the sales price is the same to us, to them, it's got to be a difference.
Yeah, but I wonder what I like. So the person that's sewing up the little suits, right?
My people,
maybe. I don't want to be stereotypical, but the person that's cutting the fabric and sewing up the little suits versus the person that's painting the armor, like I wonder what the price difference is there, hourly rate.
Yeah, because it's easier to paint an armor.
Is it though? Yeah. I don't know. I honestly, I've never sewed anything.
It's hard.
I've only reaped what I've sewed, if you know what I'm saying. But I've never sewed anything. But I know that a lot of work goes into that paint.
But there's no room.
Do you see that paint job, by the way, the Prime?
Yeah, I did.
Fucking beautiful, Mac.
With sewing, tailoring, there's no room for error. For paint, there is, especially with weathering and stuff. Yeah. And then with airbrushing, it makes everything so easy when there's a technique involved. Whereas sewing, like, you can't get a seam wrong, and that suit is so many tiny pieces that comes together as a suit.
Right.
Versus a sculpted piece of plastic that's armor already, and you just have to fucking add some white dry brushing.
Right, just white dry brushing. Yeah, I mean, I hear you there. I'm
same with hair versus no hair. Like, how much does it to like put the hair in there and style it?
A lot of times they might just want to just sculpt it. Because like I don't feel like Wonder Woman's hair looks all that much better than Aquaman's at a glance. Or Scarlet Witch. I feel like Aquaman's looks better than Scarlet Witch at a glance. I don't know. And look at Ray's. Ray's is sculpted. I feel like that looks better than Wonder Woman's.
Maybe it depends on the hairstyle.
Right? I feel like it looks better than Scarlet Witch as well, though.
Because they gotta be able to move the head and still have the hair look right. So if it's a ponytail, of course, like, fucking sculpt it. But if it's like long hair, you can't turn the head with a hard piece of hair.
Well, so Aquaman's head lacks articulation because of its hair.
Exactly.
But it still looks better to me.
Standing there.
Yeah. Let's see what else. But I doubt it. I doubt it's broken down franchise by franchise because
I think it's figure by figure.
A Batman, a Joker, a Harley Quinn is always going to sell like fucking hotcakes. Mm-hmm. So I can't imagine that they'd break it down franchise by franchise. Now, one license might be more expensive than the other, but that's probably just across the board, based on the value of that license. Yeah. Like I would imagine that Star Wars license is a big cookie.
I mean, I can't imagine the others being.
Well, the only reason why I say that is because when I was talking...
Marvel is fucking Disney, so I guess it's all the same shit.
Yeah, but I don't think it's the same. Because when I was talking to Kotobukiya, they were like, nah, Star Wars is its own beast. Mm. Like, you have to bid, not financially, but like, we would love to do this. No.
I'm unimpressed.
We are unimpressed.
That's his episode.
Yeah, for sure. All right, so that was that question. We have a few more to get into this week, which is nice. I like having questions.
And I like hearing from people, man.
Yeah, me too.
Like, we're not fucking just speaking into the ether.
Correct. All right, so Paul C. wrote in. He said, let's assume that Star Wars Galaxy's Edge is a smashing success.
One second. Hey, Paul, how's the math problem?
Oh, how did it work out?
I don't know. I haven't had a reply yet, but I don't think either one of us are wrong.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, man, there's some Asian black magic going on up in that thread. Let's assume that Star Wars Galaxy's Edge is a smashing success. I don't see how it couldn't be successful. What property would you like them to tackle next year in a similar style? What fictional universe would you like to immerse yourself in? What would you need them to include that you could visit, experience? What souvenirs do you need them to have for you? He said, also, if and when you go to Galaxy's Edge, let's say you can only take home one lightsaber, are you going to get a replica of someone's saber? If so, whose? Or are you going to create your own? For the purpose of this question, let's disregard all of the ones you already own. So let's answer that one first because I feel like that one's easy. Mm-hmm. You probably will never go to Galaxy's Edge, right? Because you don't do Disney, do you, in general?
Not that I don't. I mean, it's not worth the time and money.
Right.
I don't like the fucking public.
So I would get...
But I am interested in going...
Okay.
Just like
experience it.
Just experience it. It looks very interesting, and
if you want to go, we're going next year. Cody's going too.
Really?
Yeah. If you want to get in on that,
I think about it.
So if the context of this question is that I could get any lightsaber made, mm-hmm. that changes it for me versus if I could get the lightsabers that are already there. But still, I would probably go with something that has its own canon rather than make my own. Like I don't know why, but like
I think it means more.
Maybe like Ahsoka's. The next two I get are going to be Ahsoka's, but they mean more to me than me making my own little fun one. Which Caleb sent me a video of his that his kid made, and it was fucking cool. Super cool. But
it's cool for you to immerse yourself in that universe. Like
right.
It depends on personality, right? Some people a lot of people love franchises and characters as they are. And just like in 40K, people play existing armies because they like those characters.
Right.
But there are people like me who I like games where I can create my own character. I like to make my own army and have my own niche in the universe.
Right.
So that's the difference.
And don't get me wrong, I'd love to create my own lightsaber, but I'd really have to look at what's available to really make it yours.
Top 3 lightsabers.
3.
Top. Just you only get 3 in order.
Ooh. So my number 1 is Anakin's.
Okay.
Anakin's blue one. My number 2 is probably Maul's. And my number 3 is Kylo's. But I'm going to tell you this. Kylo only jumped up to number 3 for me once I got the Black Series one. When I held that motherfucker in my hand and I turned it on and felt the difference in the double snap of everything and all that, I was like, oh, this feels good, Mac. That changed how I saw that weapon. I always liked it, but it changed how I saw it.
So it seems like to me you picked the number 1 because of its story, but you picked number 2 and 3 for aesthetics. So how cool it is. Because number 1 is not that cool, really.
No. Number 1 is definitely for importance to the saga. Number 2 is badassery, and number 3 is I don't know. It's kind of personal experience with it. Like it's like
it speaks to you.
Yeah, it speaks to me on some level.
But it doesn't necessarily have to do with. It could have been somebody else's.
Correct. Yeah. Correct. Yeah, that's fair. What about you? Top 3 lightsabers?
Anakin's just because that's Star Wars. I like what's his face, Count Dooku's. That's number 3.
Yeah, I like that one too. You know what I like about Dooku's is not so much the curve, it's that little
thing that sticks out. Yeah, it's like a little guard. It makes it elegant.
Yeah, it does. It does. I like it too.
And my number 1 favorite is not really canon. It's the fucking Darksaber.
Oh yeah, that thing's
fucking cool. It's a fucking black katana.
Yeah.
But
it's canon.
Kind of, I guess.
Yeah, it is. It's in Rebels also. Like it's
number 2 is the purple one because it's the only purple one.
Yeah, that is true.
It's pretty fucking cool.
That is true. But yeah, I think I would want to probably get ones that I know of characters to celebrate the characters. And it also depends on how exactly customizable it is. Like, let's say, sex or food, right? Let's say it's a taco, right? And I come to the fucking thing and it's like, okay, it's shell, meat, cheese, tomato, lettuce. Like, yeah, I could put it all in the lettuce, but I can still clearly see it's a fucking taco. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If it's that sort of level of customization, or if it's something where it's like, man, you and I can walk out of here and mine can look fucking like Unicron, and yours looks like something completely different.
I think it's like, I mean, I've seen there are companies that let you pick your own parts or whatever to make a lightsaber, and that's a fucking million combinations.
That's true. I'd have to see it. I'd have to be a little bit more knowledgeable, but more than likely something established in lore.
Yeah,
than
make
something,
more sense.
Yeah. For the first part of that question. There's a couple things I want to comment on. For one, there's a lot of the YouTube bullshit about Galaxy's Edge and its performance and all that. This one guy was like showing like aerial pictures, for instance, and was saying how like, look, there's nobody over here, no people whatsoever. But then like somebody else came out and they're like, actually, this section's closed.
That's why there's nobody there. Should have been anybody there.
This section is actually a line for something, and the line was shut off. You can see here that they closed the line off at a certain point. So like, just fucking smoke and mirrors with this shit, man. What property would you like for them to tackle next? So if I'm saying for the sake of this conversation that all bets are off, it doesn't need to be a Disney property per se. What would you choose? Something super immersive. I'll tell you what I would want, man. And I know, it's not going to sound fun. That's the thing about it. But like, I would be happy going with Gotham. Like if you could go into Gotham City.
I mean, you go to New York City at night. Walk down some alley.
Yeah, but I mean, like
you'll get that. You won't get the Batman, but you'll get the rest of it.
Yeah, but you walk around like the characters are there because like the characters are in like a they're like in universe at like that shit exists like in the canon. Like it's during a time.
Okay.
So like it exists between episodes 8 and 9.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that. So that makes a lot more sense.
Yeah. So like, and actually I saw that I was listening to a podcast and they were talking about, they were there and something happened where clone troopers, and it might get into spoilery stuff, for instance, because we just don't know, but First Order troopers and Rey got put in this pocket of the park where like they don't normally ever you see them together, because like the resistance people like come up to you and like be like, yeah, hide this, you know, and then somebody else will come up to you later like, hey, I need it, you know, like just weird shit, right? That's fucking awesome.
Great.
Yeah. But there was like, however the fucking dynamics of this day worked out, Rey and the stormtroopers were together and there was nothing that anybody could do about it, like without taking you out of universe. You know, so like they drew down on her and they're like, freeze, and like all this, and then like they radioed back and they're like, we have Rey, this and that, and then somebody said on the other line, let her go. And they're like, what? Let her go. It's like, you're free to leave. And like, but they're like, the idea is that it could have been Kylo, and it might play in, like it might that shit might have been important. It might have been in the fabric of, should they ever meet, this is how we're going to handle it, and this is how it plays into the larger story.
I mean, that's fucking interesting. So,
but like, I would love to be in Gotham City and like the Joker like comes by and you know what I mean, like you're like, holy shit, you know, just how much I love the
it
world.
Would have to be like that, but like how often? Because like
but
it's easy
villains.
because Star Wars is a whole different universe. It's got its own ararchitecture and it's got its, like you're immersed by the fact that people are in costume all the time.
What if it was Tim Burton?
Because like it has. Like Batman Returns, it has its own aesthetics, but
all the Tim Burton shit does.
All the people are just regular people, so you see people in their suits and ties and whatever. But you would have to see once in a while fucking Batman jump from rooftop to rooftop.
So I think you're right. Okay, I think that you're right. That my idea is less interesting. Right, I agree. But I think I would super enjoy it. Is what I'm saying.
I would like fucking the X Mansion.
Well, I feel like that's running into the same problems though.
But
the same real world problems.
You would, I mean,
like something like Lord of the Rings is like an obvious answer, or like like the Harry Potter world they have at Universal or whatever. Like
the difference with the X Mansion, like a big X Mansion campus ground, like big mansion with attractions or whatever. And the thing is, in world, it's fucking full of mutants.
Right.
So you have just fucking mutants. Everyone has something.
Right. Yeah,
and then you would see they have a danger room place. They have fucking
that would have to be a ride.
Yeah, exactly. And a lot. You can have a lot of cameos because there's so many fucking X-Men's. Like you have Batman and a bunch of villains,
and all the Bat family that we think there's too many.
Yeah,
and then a lot of villains. Like there's a lot, and then you can even bring in.
And the problem is, it doesn't work in the daytime. Gotham doesn't work in the daytime.
It doesn't work as well. I'll give you that, because I like the fight at the end of Dark Knight Rises, like with the snow and outside.
Yeah, but
in the sun.
In general,
I agree. I agree.
Even there was a DC Online game.
DC Universe.
Yeah, so when you go to Metropolis, it's always daytime. When you go to Gotham, it's always nighttime.
Yeah, that makes sense. But you can even have other DC characters pop up in Gotham. You can have whoever you want.
That's true. That's true, because it's in world.
Yeah,
and you had Bruce Wayne, just the dude.
Yeah, just
with his entourage.
Yeah,
you see a nice ass car drive by.
Yeah,
I can see that.
Anyway, I would like it. I mean, but I'd be up for just about anything.
If this is just like you're like, oh, DC is cool. I'm like, I think Marvel is cool.
Yeah, well, let's say so. Well, here's the thing. Like, yeah, it's true. I think that I'm trying to think if there's anything else. Like, I mean, I'd be up for a Mortal Kombat world, but
it's too crazy.
But too much.
Yeah, Lord of the Rings will be cool. I mean,
He-Man,
but like
He-Man would be fucking cool. Like Eternia.
Yeah. What? Yeah, they turn the Disney castle into the Eternia castle for a fucking day. Didn't they do that one sometimes? They change the fucking castle into something else?
Yeah. I'd be like, where is Evil Lynn? I need to find her immediately. But yeah, that's a good question. All right, then we have James G. He says, hey, what's up, crew? Got some rapid fire and a question for you. The question, reading House of X at the moment, and it got me wondering, most of the X-Men's more xenophobic enemies, like the Purifiers or Sentinels, stay in the X books, but there are many other mutants, superpowered persons, and extraterrestrials in other books or teams that somehow remain safe. If you could, please pitch a quick idea for a book where these characters or types interact. Why didn't the Sentinels storm the Baxter building and go after Franklin? The Purifiers never went after Speed and Wiccan from Young Avengers. The Reavers attack Firestar, etc. For Marvel, I've always thought it was weird that people-born mutants were scrutinized and not the Fantastic Four or Avengers, while in the DC Comics, metahumans are generally applauded. But I think there is a difference between people that kind of get their powers from some sort of exterior source than there are these people that are just born better. See, that's where I think the fear is. Like, anybody can be hit by this magical bolt of lightning that turns you into something special, but it's like, oh shit, there's people being born now that are better than us. And that's fear.
And I mean, that's what Magneto was going. It's like, well, we are better. We're the next step.
Correct.
We're going to phase you out.
Correct. So, like, that to me, I think, at least in my head canon, that's how I always explained away, you know, the anti-mutant people not hunting down the Fantastic Four, because that's some freak accident shit that's not going to normally happen. They're not going to replace us because it's like 1 in a billion that gets this fucking opportunity. But these fucking things, they're popping up left and right, and this motherfucker's not one of us, you know.
But that's part of the problem with, you know, it's a beauty to crossover worlds where everything exists in one world. But then there is problems like this. Like, why wouldn't anti-mutant or Sentinels? Why wouldn't they attack aliens when they come? You know, why wouldn't they attack Kree or Brood or whatever?
That makes more sense. But I have a harder time explaining that than I do explaining why they wouldn't attack Captain America.
Right, and also just the reception. Like those, like Avengers and stuff are heroes that are normally seen as heroes to the public, I guess.
I wonder if.
But Wolverine's on it sometimes, and
and Scarlet Witch. I wonder in Beast. I wonder if I think it's Storm too. Actually.
Everybody's an Avenger.
I wonder if any of the Avengers have ever come out outspoken in defense of the X-Men. See, and I'm just trying to think of ways to eddy out, right? So, like, if you have these alien creatures that come down and the Avengers step up as like the Earth's mightiest heroes that everyone adores, and they say, "No, these people are good," if they've ever done that for the X-Men. And I don't know. Phil would know.
Here's another thing. All the approved, so to speak, like, you know, approved heroes, Avengers and Fantastic Four and stuff, they're technically registered. You know who they are, right?
Right.
So, like, a lot of contention is the Mutant Registration Act, and people don't feel like they should have to register just because they are born a certain way.
I think
that is.
And I think that shit is legit, man. Like, I can see that. You know, I can obviously see that as being a real thing.
I mean, and we saw that in the movies with the Sokovia Accord. Like, you have to register.
Yeah, which is true to Civil War also. You know, that they wanted them to be employees more, right. So, you know.
So I think that's the difference. Like, all these superpowered people come from wherever. Like, we know who they are. We can track them.
Right.
You're just not some rando kid out in the fucking woods that fucking breathes poison. You know.
Yeah, so I guess if I were to have to do it, I would have to say that, like, the way I would explain that away, you know, if I was writing a movie or whatever, it'd be like, well, these people are 1 in a billion chance of being special. And these aliens are being co-signed by them, and they've saved us, you know, from the Chitauri invasion. They saved us from the Snap. They saved us from all that. So they have our trust. Whereas this thing is new. You know, it's almost like, you know, channeling hatred. You know, it's almost like in a way, and I don't want to get too on my fucking whatever, but, like, it's almost like people need a common enemy to hate. Yeah. You know, and it just changes over time. Like, okay, it's black people. Okay, it's gay people. Okay, it's fucking trans people. Okay, it's fucking, you know, Islamic followers and believers, and you know what I mean. Like, it just
it's always something.
So, like, I can see that if they kind of had a way to explain that, like, look, they used to kind of be weary of these, like, super people, and they were behind the Registration Act regarding Civil War and all that, but they saved us from the Snap, so they get a pass, but now we got this to hate, so we can all kind of band together and hate this. You know?
And they're supposed to be just regular people. They're not heroes.
Yeah.
You know, it's just...
Right.
Everyday.
Right. They haven't done anything.
Because all the super people we've had have been good guys, and all the bad guys have been put down.
Right.
But now, if you just have random amounts of superpower people running amok, then you don't fucking know.
Right. Yeah.
Unproven.
Yeah, I think that would be an interesting way to do it.
And especially if they start having mutants commit crime with their superpowers.
Yeah.
Then you get really fucking worried.
Right. Yeah. I'm with the shits on that. So here's the rapid fire. First paying job.
Oh, just what was your first paying job? Yeah. Picture framer.
Mine was value food up at Hammond.
You were bagging?
Yeah, I was bagging groceries, and I used to go up there stoned out of my mind. I was 15, 14 years old.
Yeah, I put the cold stuff with the hot stuff.
No, but I'll tell you what used to fuck me up.
Put the fucking frozen meat with the rotisserie chicken.
I would probably do it. Like some people would ask me, like they had to ask me, like, please don't put the raw chicken with the lettuce or whatever. Like, oh yeah, you're right. And like I just, I remember that my biggest thing that would fuck me up is when they said the paper. I want the paper in the plastic.
Oh, paper bag in the plastic bag.
And I used to be like, oh my god, like I would be so focused on that and making sure that all the right things went in the right places. That then I would hit like total at the end, and this lady's got like 18 bags of groceries and everything, and I'd be like, the total's $14.65 somehow. I'm not sure. You must have got some good deals.
You're just bagging shit and not scanning it.
Yeah, and then I came to find out later, because I went on spring break or something. Like they were like, take a week off for spring break, and then they just never gave me any more hours. Like they didn't. I'm probably still on the books. Like they didn't fire me. I didn't quit. They just like for weeks I would go back. Like got any hours? They'd be like, nope. Got any hours? Nope. Got any hours? Nope. And then I just stopped going, and they stopped. They didn't call, so it just phased me out. But,
wow.
Yeah, but my dad or my grandma went in there and like talked to him about it like years later. Like my grandson used to work here. He was a bagger, and no, I did cashier bit too. I did it all, and they were like, she was like, and he struggled with this job. I think a good bit because I did. But like you guys just never called him to. He's like, I don't know. Like how old was he? And I was like, he was like 14, 15, whatever it was. Like, oh, you're not even supposed to be doing this until you're 17. Uh-huh. So like, they had me doing some shit that was unfair. They should. Good thing we weren't fucking unionized. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Killer croc, the traditional head or the more crocodile head? I like the traditional head. I like the traditional head
because crocodile head, like,
but I like it in Hush. When he has like the more crocodile head and Hush, but it's
weird to see him talk.
What's the first prize you can win at a carnival? Goldfish or the giant plush or blow up character? What's the worst prize you can win at a carnival?
Fucking fish.
Giant plush. Like just all I think about whenever my kids want to play one of those games and I see that giant fucking thing, I'm like, oh, please don't win that. I'm going to carry it around, then we got to find a place for it in the car, and just so you can treat it like a piece of shit, and I got to throw it out in 3 weeks.
Take a bunch of space at home too.
Dude, I used to put the goldfish in like a jar. They die because but I used to get bummed out, man, when I was a kid.
Exactly.
You're trapped between a rock and a hard place. Is it Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, Kid Rock, or Chris Rock? Probably Chris Rock.
Chris Rock.
Bruce Lee, Kung Fu era antagonist. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar or Bolo Ewing?
Bolo. Fucking Bolo all the way.
Who is Bolo?
Bolo's the guy with the big chest. He always fucks his chest.
Oh, yeah.
You already know. He was in fucking Bloodsport too with Van Damme.
Yeah. Soup. Do you like a lot of broth or a lot of the components? Veggies, meats, noodles, etc.
It depends on the soup.
Me too. So if it's noodles, give me more noodles. If it's meat, I don't eat it.
You don't want that soggy meat.
And if it's veggies, I also don't eat it. So I'm pretty much all broth, like not what is it called, like a lobster bisque.
Yes.
Like that's a little bit of meat and a lot of broth.
Yeah.
Like I'm usually on that end, or I'm all noodles, and then and then at that point I'm like, man, let's not even have soup. Let's just have a pasta bowl.
Right. It's like either stew. Give me a stew.
I don't like it.
Or like fucking water. Like clam chowder's gotta have stuff in it. Potato soup's gotta have stuff in it.
I hate fucking stew, dude. If you're not fucking drinking beer out of like one of those old chalices, don't fucking have stew.
Dude,
Stew's out of here.
Awesome.
Ugh.
I love stew.
Like wet fucking slop. Let's see. Batman with powers. Yellow Green Lantern Batman or Batman in the Mentron Mobius chair. Oh.
That's all you.
So I will say this. On paper, my choice is Yellow Lantern, right? But him in that chair is probably the most fascinating Batman story I've read in a very long time. And it was a Justice League story, but just him in that chair, like, dude, like, this chair has all of the knowledge of the entire universe, known and unknown. Like it's just
everything.
Every piece of knowable information is obtainable within this chair. He sits in it and it's like, who killed my parents? Like, and who is the Joker? Like, that's all that matters. And it's like,
that's very interesting.
Yes. And then he was like God for a little while, basically. And Batman as God is a scary, scary, scary concept. So I'll go with the chair ultimately. But I think the Yellow Lantern is cooler, and it's a cooler idea. All right, more annoying move to spam for all you classic MK fans. Watch the moves to the character for bonus points. Back, forward, or forward, high kick.
Forward high kick's Liu Kang's fucking jump.
Forward high kick is Liu Kang's jump. Back forward is, I believe.
Yeah.
So the forward, I feel like the kick is the more spammable one. Because
because there's no downtime really on that.
That Umadumade shit, like, that's just a risky move.
Yeah, because you're like fucking open and
you're wide
flipping in the air.
Open.
Yeah.
The flying high kick is like you're gonna get one move off on it, but so I would say
that probably.
Yeah. Quick, unexpected, what the fuck? Marvel kills / deaths. The Sentry versus Ares or God Doom versus Thanos. So
they're like similar.
Yeah, but I love that Doom and
yes,
that's one of my favorite Marvel moments in general. Like, and I forget the exact verbiage of it, but like when
you have the gauntlet, and he's like, no, but I don't need it.
Yeah, but he's like, he asks him,
yeah,
do you have? He's like, no, but I don't need it to deal with the likes of you. Yeah. And then like you turn the page, and he's like, fucking rip Thanos' fucking skeleton out of his fucking body.
More combat to him.
Yeah, and he's like, that appears to be untrue.
Yeah, fucking Maury's his ass.
Yeah, that's fucking great.
Yeah, I think the Sentry Ares one is cool, and it's fucking the art is beautiful and makes it more impactful. Mm-hmm. But I think because Ares is throwaway.
Right. X-Force's Feral or X-Factor's Wolfsbane? Feral for me.
They're interchangeable for me.
They are, but Feral had more of a chip on her shoulder. I feel like Wolfsbane was more of a paint-by-numbers character, at least in the 90s, where Feral actually had some bite.
Issues.
You could say she has some claws. Do you secretly use the decorative towels in your homes and then deny it? 1,000%.
I don't have any decorative towels in my home.
1,000% I do.
Everything's utilitarian.
Zucchini bread or banana bread?
Banana bread.
Keep your fucking fruit and vegetables out of my fucking
you don't like
desserts. I don't like, dude, only thing I fuck with is pumpkin pie, and that shit has to be on the right type of crust and cold as fuck. Keep your fruits and vegetables out of my fucking desserts.
You don't like fruit on your cake?
Look, it's bad enough I gotta fucking eat the fucking vegetables during the day. Now you want me to have them for dessert too? Fuck out of here. It's strawberry shortcake. And even then,
strawberries on there.
Even then, if I had to get rid of one component, strawberries are gonna be the first to go. And I'm funny about the ratio. Don't fucking confetti that shit with strawberries.
No apple pies. None of that shit.
I don't like apple pie. I don't even like it with ice cream. I know that's a thing. I'm like, meh, it's fine.
Somebody's not American.
Yeah, that's okay.
Just got a baseball part.
Bagel topping: cream cheese or butter and jelly?
Cream cheese. I like butter and jelly, but cream cheese is the.
So I like just butter. I'll put jelly on it. But I prefer just butter on my bagel.
You don't like cream cheese?
I can eat it, but it's not my preference.
Interesting.
Unexpected.
Does it depend on what kind of bagel?
For me?
Yeah. Or you don't only eat one kind of bagel?
No, I can eat multiple.
You're definitely
kinds.
not eating everything because it's got onions on it.
I eat everything.
They got onions on that motherfucker.
So, but it's not. It's like little onion chips.
Yeah.
See, onions for me, the problem is not the taste; it's the texture.
It's specifically just cooked onions.
Cooked onions or raw onions.
They're very different things.
Yeah, but I'm out on both. That's why it's hard.
You and your fucking rules.
It's hard to dress up an onion. That's my point.
So no
Funyuns. I'll fuck with a Funyun.
What about fucking onion rings?
No.
Will you put the onion out from inside and eat the fucking crust?
Yes.
I do that sometimes.
Yeah, I would do that.
What about...
what is that? I was going to call it Bohemian Rhapsody, but that's not what it's called. Bloomin' onion.
I love bloomin' onion.
But I'll take the onion pieces out and
just
eat the
bloomin' part. Mm-hmm. What about...
Dude, can I get a bloomin' onion? Just the bloomin'? Oh, it's good.
Well, onion straws. I fucking love onion straws.
I've never had one.
I feel like you had to.
Maybe I haven't. I don't know. Maybe I know. What are they? The curly?
They're like really thin,
like almost like chips.
No.
Okay, no, I don't know.
They're like shoestring onion. Like,
no, I'm not fucking with that. Okay. I don't know what it is, but I'm already out. As soon as you, because I feel like when you were doing this, the onion was changing shape as you were doing this, so I already know
it's
I
like
can't
fried.
handle it.
It's like, well.
Yeah, I'd have to see it. But
I feel like you would have had it.
I feel like because there's still onion inside that thing, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I'm out. Anytime there's onion inside, I don't want any surprise onions.
I didn't notice. Surprise. I didn't know everything bagel. You know what
it's like. It's like a little chips. Because I like onion powder also.
Yeah, the flavor is great.
Yeah, but this is like little flavor. It doesn't have the same. It's not the same. It's not a problem. I can even eat an onion bagel. It's not my preference, but I can eat it. I just hate.
I'm so confused.
Yeah, I know it's hard to explain, but like
you know what you want and what you don't want them. At least that's that. There's nothing where you're like, on Mondays I like this, on Tuesdays I don't.
So like this bag of like veggie chips.
Yeah.
Right. So potatoes are obviously the best flavored ones in there.
Yeah.
And then after that is probably the carrots.
Yeah.
And then after that is the green one. So whatever that green one is, I can eat it in chip form, but I probably don't care for it in vegetable form.
In regular form.
Yeah. I mean, so that's kind of how I feel about onions.
You can eat a lot of stuff in fried form that you can't eat in regular form.
Correct. But I still don't fuck with the green fried ones either that much, but I can eat them. All right. Unexpected Mario killer, Bullet Bill or Chain Chomp?
Bullet Bill.
I think I might go with Chain Chomp. Only because, like, sometimes his angle can be a little tricky.
Oh, because he goes to where you were just at.
Yeah.
And sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah, that split second wait. Yeah.
So I'm going to go with Chain Chomp.
Bullet Bill just comes from nowhere some fucking times.
Yeah.
And there's times when you can't fucking run from it. Mm-hmm. Because it comes straight for you. Mm-hmm. Chain Chomp is on a chain. Mm-hmm. But the Bullet Bill, if you're in a corridor, you're fucked.
That's true, but sometimes the Chain Chomp is a big-ass chomp. Spaghetti sidekick, meatballs or sausage?
Meatball.
Sausage.
Really?
Yeah, because so here's the thing. Most meatballs, well, I feel like when growing up with Italian people in your family, most of the meatballs are big as fuck.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ball.
So like a sausage is usually sliced like little discs. So like you can control the ratio of your pasta to sausage, I feel like, better than your meatball. And I prefer sausage, so to speak, over ground beef.
But like you just break up the meatball, it becomes meat sauce.
Yeah, no, I'm not into that.
Because like I feel like sausage is a more unusual topping for spaghetti than ground beef.
I would say it's more unusual, yes, but oftentimes like they'll have sausage and meatballs. Like that's not
right.
You know what I mean? Yeah. But if I had to choose one or the other, I prefer the sausage. I like the flavor of sausage better. I don't know, it's crazy, but I like the flavor of sausage better, so to speak. And I'm not a big ground beef fan in general. I eat like a hamburger once a year.
I think it's because you eat plain ass hamburgers. That's why.
No, because I like hamburgers a lot. I could eat them every day, but I choose not to for my health. But aside from a hamburger patty, I'm not a big fan of ground beef in general. Like we have ground chicken and ground turkey tacos and shit like that.
Oh, really?
Yeah, yeah.
Weirdo.
Yeah. Who'd win in a fight? G1's Combaticons Bruticus or Car Robots Decepticon? Well, I don't know what the fuck that is, so I'm going to say Bruticus. I'm going with Bruticus. G1 Cartoon Continuity Ultra Magnus or IDW G1 Minimus Ambus? Minimus Ambus. Cobra's the Enemy, Metalhead or Scrap Iron? Metalhead.
Yeah, I co-signed that.
Well, wham! Didn't he do that shit?
Yeah.
Yeah. Stone Temple Pilots Core or Soundgarden Super Unknown? I'm probably going to have to go with Super Unknown.
I like Stone Temple Pilot.
I like them. To be fair, I'm not a huge fan of either, but I think I listened to more off of Super Unknown than I did off of Core. Core, there's this one song on there. I think it was actually a bonus song. It wasn't on the proper. It might have been on the CD, but it wasn't on the tape. But it was like at the end of the tape, and I like that song a lot. But I don't generally listen to Stone Temple Pilots. Whereas at that time, you probably could have caught Spoon Man and some of that shit in rotation, and you probably could have caught some of the shit off their first album, the one before that one, in my rotation.
More of it on the radio, at least, for sure.
Yeah, but not during the time. Now, yeah. Now I feel like Super Unknown definitely outlived most shit from that time.
Yeah, that's true.
I feel like you still hear Black Hole Sun like once a week.
For sure.
All right, so you're backwards. I don't know what this word is.
What?
Oh my God, it's what I thought it was. Your backwoods Cause Cassidy. It's like your whiteness. I'm guessing. Cause Cassidy.
Caucasianness.
Yeah, it's like your backwoods Cause Cassidy is at 110%. What's your redneck uniform? Wolf shirt or bald eagle American flag tee?
Fucking wolf shirt.
I'll also accept a ripped and faded Guns N' Roses 1987 Appetite for Destruction World Tour shirt. So
that's pretty good.
So I would take the Guns N' Roses, but I feel like that's me cheating because I'm just a Guns N' Roses fan anyway from that era. So I'd have to go with the wolf shirt.
Yeah, wolf shirt for sure.
I would have definitely been in that pocket.
Howling at the moon.
So there was a time where I was mopping at a place, and this lady came outside. And she was trying to tell me about like something that we had left on site. But she wasn't dressed like she was there professionally. She was dressed like she came from home.
Okay.
But she had like this shirt on that had it had like one big wolf's head in the background, like screaming at the moon, and then like a whole bunch of other wolves that were like smaller than the big wolf head, like on the edge of a mountain, and then the mountain like came down her shirt. So it was like a whole bunch of little wolves and like one big wolf's head and like screaming at the moon. And I was like, man, that shirt is cool. She was like, thanks. I got it from Walmart for like $6 or whatever. And I was like, I would pick it up, but I have one just like it. And she's like, you do? And I said, yeah. It's all little pugs and then one big pug head in the background screaming at a moon, and then there's a pug face in the moon. And she was like, oh, that sounds cool. And I was like, yeah. So, okay, Esteban sent a Star Wars Black Series question. So it's probably safe to say that Marvel Legends are probably one of the best-selling toy lines in any store. Each wave consists of 7 or 8 figures that have a collect-them-all gimmick with the Build-A-Figure and the artwork on the back of the box with all the other figures in the wave. My question is, why do you guys think Hasbro doesn't apply this tactic on Star Wars Black Series? If I don't look it up on the internet, I have no idea what characters are out or who I can expect to find if I spot a different figure. The Legends waves are pretty successful with every batch selling out except the one character no one cares about. Think about a Rise of Skywalker wave and what will be in it. Now think of it in Legends format. They could split it up into 2 or 3 waves like Infinity War and Endgame waves, but still stick in a smaller fan favorite character in like they did with Beta Ray Bill and the Serpent Guy. Example: Rey in white robes, Poe in new clothes, BB-8 with the new one-wheel droid, Jetpack Trooper, Knight of Ren 1, Knight of Ren 2, and boom, Saw Gerrera. Wave 2, after the movie, Kylo with welded mask, Knight of Ren 3, Knight of Ren 4, Ghost Luke, Ghost Palpatine, Sith Trooper, and boom, Mon Mothma. Wave 3, Knight of Ren 5, Finn in new clothes, Gold C-3PO with bowcaster, new Jar Jar alien, old Lando, Jana, the new chick, and boom, Bib Fortuna. What do you guys think? How about you guys play around and make a wave? So I think that's fucking smart idea. I don't know. I think that honestly, the approach to Black Series marketing was to make it look classy.
Yeah, I think it's like supposed to look upscale.
Yeah,
it does.
It does.
Just in packaging, it's like
it's sharp scale. It's sharp packaging, but I don't think it's successful to its general audience. Do you know what I mean? In terms of that, like I buy Black Series, but I don't buy Black Series because I think it's something artsy and special. I buy it because I love Star Wars and I want the fucking figures. I know I'm getting a $20 figure with a couple bells and whistles on it. Do you know what I mean? So I feel like he's right. I think you can keep. I think the packaging is sharp, especially the black and red. Like it's sharp, but I think you could add on the back the wave, and I'd be okay with a Build-A-Figure.
Well, like I was thinking, like what would you have as Build-A-Figure?
That's the question. But see, I don't think Build-A-Figures need to be big.
But then you would question, like, why didn't you just release this so I can buy it instead of making me buy 5 figures to get this one that I want?
Well, sure.
Whereas Build-A-Figures, you have an excuse. Well, this is a giant figure. We're not going to put out a $100 figure.
They do a lot of Build-A-Figures of regular ass fucking like Shuri. Not Shuri. The bald general chick from Black Panther was a Build-A-Figure, I think. Or no, who one of those chicks, either Shuri or the bald chick. One of them was a Build-A-Figure.
Huh.
Mantis from Guardians was a Build-A-Figure.
Oh, that's fucked up.
Jubilee was a Build-A-Figure.
Because I thought they were always monster or big characters.
Oftentimes, but not always. And I'd have to look through Star Wars and see if anything. Like you could probably do like a, Ifant Mon or one of those big monster-looking characters in the back of Jabba's palace as a Build-A-Figure that would be super successful.
A cross-section of Jabba.
But yeah. But I think what's going to be interesting is how this, it's so fucking funny, man. Like, look, I'm sure that these people at Disney know how to market a film better than I do. I'm sure they do.
They have been marketing well on most things,
but
not everything.
But here I am. I'm like, dude, it's almost November. November is when The Mandalorian hits. A trailer for it still isn't out. They played it at Celebration. We're going to get one at D23. I guarantee you that. But I don't think we're going to get a Rise of Skywalker trailer.
That's crazy.
Because
that's fucking crazy.
I agree. Because I think they're like, no, this is going to be Mandalorian's moment, and not Rise of Skywalker's moment, and not trust us to be able to handle both. Do you remember when...
But it might be a problem of having two things come out at the same time, though.
Marketing-wise? I mean,
yeah.
I don't know.
Because it's two Star Wars things being marketed at the same time. I think could be problematic.
I think it could be, but I think that...
Because you're going to steal spotlight from one or the other.
But I think you could have started one fucking 2 months ago.
Yes, that's true.
You know what I'm saying? But like, I think that now it's so down to the wire. If there's a month difference between, like, let's say they do New York Comic Con for the trailer for Star Wars, and fucking Mandalorian gets this August spot. Fucking October, November, 2 months out. Yeah. You're 2 months out from that fucking movie.
It's too close.
It's too close. And like, I think that like they did. If you remember that SDCC that one year, they did the Wonder Woman trailer and the Justice League trailer same fucking day.
Yeah,
people were pumped about both at the time. Do you know what I mean? This is people are seeing that universe through different lenses. Like, and I think they did. There was a BVS promotional shot and the Suicide Squad trailer. You talk about DC in a totally different lens. People were pumped about both. I think people can handle it. I don't know why they just treat it like their daughter's virginity, man. Everything's got to be under fucking lock and key until the very last fucking possible moment. You got to feed these people, I feel like. And I don't know why they just fucking hold everything back. And I have to imagine that they're smarter than me. I have to. Because one, I'm a fucking idiot. and two, that's their fucking job.
Yeah.
But I like,
I don't get it because I'm nothing else is handled like that.
Rise of Skywalker should have been out at SDCC at the latest.
Yeah, I agree, and there's a good place for it.
Yeah, the teaser.
It's the biggest fucking thing.
The teaser at Celebration, the trailer at SDCC, and then you fucking roll out Mandalorian at D23. Fucking easy. I don't get it, man. And that rollout for Mandalorian is going to be different because they're going to use that shit as a launch pad for fucking Disney Plus.
Yes.
That's going to be the rollout for it. So do that.
It's weird. We're fucking 4 months from a movie that we have no real trailer of.
It's nuts.
Because you would think at least 6 months is fair.
And then they're going to be like, and then what's going to happen?
Like a year soon, but 6 months is right.
Think about even Last Jedi, which I think came late to the party. Still had time to do trailer, international trailer, TV spots out the ass, and dude, I think Force Awakens, if I'm not mistaken, had a teaser, 2 trailers, and then the TV spots, and the teaser came a year out. I don't understand why they don't see that and say this is the fucking formula. This fucking Rise of Skywalker, if this shit doesn't perform, if we don't get a fucking trailer until October, there's gonna be these fucking jackasses on the internet saying, "Oh yeah, well we're still protesting Last Jedi." Like, yeah, okay, maybe you are, dickhead. Actually, you probably didn't. You probably went and saw it, and then you lied every fucking body about it. But fine, maybe you are. But then I go to fucking work with a whole bunch of normies, and they're like, "Star Wars is out." That's probably a good time. You know what I mean? Because that's how it was with Solo.
Yeah, nobody knew.
Nobody knew. That shit needs to be inescapable. It needs to be a cultural moment.
I just wonder, maybe they're just worrying about, because this is the last for a while of the main, like they're too worried about not showing the hand. Like they're very careful of how much they can show in the trailer, and if they show it now, then they don't have anything else new to show between now and then.
Maybe, but
maybe
I feel
they can only afford to have one trailer in their minds. I mean,
but if you look at, I don't disagree with you, but if you look at Last Jedi rollout, they didn't show shit until like 2 weeks out. They had one last TV spot that showed Rey pulling Kylo's blade into her hands. And that was the only time that it was like, oh, wait, that's fucking different. You know? But like it took all the way to like 2 weeks before they really started heavy spoon feeding you. But like we had plenty of promotional content, but it was still within a tight range of time that I think should have been spread out over a larger. And we only got one theatrical trailer, which I think we should have gotten two. And I think that the TV spots are important, but I think that without showing a whole lot, they still were able to market the film in a way where, like, we haven't even seen a fucking poster for this thing.
No.
There's no poster for this film. And we're less than 6 months out.
Fucking 4 months out.
No fucking poster? Dude, it's Star Wars, and it's a big deal, and people love it, and it's a global event. But it's not Jesus Christ. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, sometimes there has to be a balance.
I don't know who's making the decision.
I have to imagine it's
I
have to imagine it's Bob Iger. I have to. Because he's...
And no one else is be like, hey, man, maybe we should do something.
See, but also, you know who else I put in there is JJ. Because I think JJ likes to keep a secret. You know, I think he gets his rocks off on that. Like,
yeah, because like
the mystery box or whatever, you know, that whole bit.
And like what, Cloverfield Lane? Oh, not Cloverfield. One of the Cloverfield, it was just dropped. Like, oh, the movie's coming out now. And it just fucking dropped.
Yeah, you can't do that with this shit, man.
It's not the same.
It's not the same, and there's too much money on the line. You know,
you got to feed the hype machine.
Yeah, you gotta make it where everybody knows. I remember my dad telling me that Force Awakens was coming out. My dad doesn't even fucking... I wonder if my dad even knows. I should call him. Let's call him.
That's a movie coming out this year?
Yeah, let's call him.
Plug.
Yeah.
I wonder what he's doing right now.
Not wanting to hear from me, I bet you. Call Dad home.
Calling Dad home.
We should call a bunch of... I feel like that's like worthwhile doing, calling a bunch of people and being like, you know, like, hey, do you know it? He's not going to answer. He's a 2-ring guy.
Oh, he either answers or no answer.
Yeah.
Hello?
Oh, there he is. Dad.
Yes.
I got a quick question for you. We're doing kind of a survey.
Okay.
How many Star Wars movies have been released since the Disney buyout?
I don't know exactly.
Take a guess. Or talk about any ones that you remember offhand.
I would guess maybe 5.
Okay. So there was... do you remember any of them or what any of them were about?
Yes.
What do you remember?
Well, the one that didn't go over real well, I think, was about Han Solo.
Okay.
And then a couple of the latest ones.
Do you know when the next one's coming out?
No.
Okay. The one that didn't go over very well, what do you mean by didn't go over very well? Are you talking about financial success or are you talking about fan reaction?
I believe fan reaction. I don't know financially how it did.
Okay. All right. Thank you. That is helpful.
Okay.
All right. I'll talk to you. Actually, I'll be calling you Friday morning.
I should be hanging around here about that time.
All right. Sounds good.
Bye.
See ya. So he knows there's a fan reaction.
Yep.
He doesn't know what it's associated with.
Yep.
And he thinks it's around and I should have asked him regarding what Han Solo, because I can see him saying the one where Han Solo died. You know,
true.
He has no idea that one's coming out this year.
Yeah.
Like, that's a fucking problem.
That is a problem. It's coming out soon. Everyone should be like, oh yeah, Star Wars, new Star Wars this year.
And he usually knows, like, he gives a shit about Star Wars. He does care. Like, you know, he's not indifferent.
Right. It's just, nobody's shown him anything yet.
Correct. He has no clue. No clue. All right. I don't know how the fuck we got here. This Black Series. If I was to design a wave, yeah, I mean, so I got here from this, was thinking, I don't know how they're going to mix Black Series figures between Mandalorian and Rise of Skywalker. I was looking at Yakface put out a report that said that this Triple Force Friday is coming. I think first Friday of October, and it's going to have basically. I think it's going to have basically 2 waves of figures, and one is going to be mainly Mandalorian, and one is going to be mainly Rise of Skywalker. Makes sense. I do agree with them that it should probably be a heavy focus on whatever they're pushing at the time, and then 1 or 2 classics. So you do Rise of Skywalker, and you do 4 figures or 5 figures, and then you throw in a fucking young Anakin that we still don't have, or you know what I mean, or Jar Jar. I mean, it's another character. Padme, we only have 1. She wears fucking 13 outfits in the first movie.
Yeah, then they can have a lot of fucking Padmes, but they're all going to be complicated scopes.
Yeah. Yeah,
that might be a deterrent for them.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
It's not just a white jumpsuit. You know what I mean?
Correct.
All the dresses are crazy.
That's true. But they could do they did a three set handmaiden set and put that shit on Amazon. I'd buy that. That's basically 3 retools. Same shit.
Yeah.
I don't know. I can't think of. I guess I don't know if I can build my own wave, but I do think that you're right, Esteban, in saying that there should be marketing on the back of that box as to what is coming. And there should be some incentive to knowing, if you get the whole wave, for one, because there's no incentive right now for Black Series to get the whole wave.
You just pick what you want.
Yeah, you just pick and choose.
But I mean, I don't know how you would, and the Build-A figures, only way I see that you would want to make someone get a whole wave of someone if they just don't care about some characters.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of characters that people just don't, in general, don't give a fuck about that much to buy a $20 figure of.
Yeah, I agree. But I think it's smart. I did talk to the Hasbro guy that I was in line with, and he said one of the reasons why Marvel Legends doesn't get to dump a whole bunch of money into their figures is because of their Build-A figure, which I don't really understand.
What do you mean?
I guess he said so much money goes into developing the Build-A figure that's where the majority of the budget for the wave goes, which is why you get hired sculpt work and everything else with Black Series. You lose a couple articulation points with Black Series, so you save part count.
Yeah.
And then you don't get the Build-A figure, which is an
piece
entire new mold.
And different engineering.
Yeah.
I'm sure that engineering has to be something to make a fucking combiner work.
So he said that was a big part of it. I gotta touch base with that guy. It's one of those things where it's he's down to talk to me, but and let me record it and put it out and everything. But it's one of those things where so much time is going by now. I kind of feel like it's weird to touch base with him. You know what I mean? Hey, I'm the guy in line.
Remember last year?
I should hit him up. I'll make a conscious effort to do that. Also, I might be having a pretty exclusive interview that people will be very happy to see.
Toy related?
Toy related.
Okay.
People will be very excited. I'm going to put 30 billion ads in that bitch.
It's gonna be a long conversation?
I'm hoping it's how much they'd be willing to give to me. There was a third party person in between that kind of has started to set it up, and it looks like all parties are interested. And I actually have to talk to you about it a bit afterwards. But yeah, more on that later. I'll talk about it maybe on Patreon. I want to do this thing on Patreon, and I already talked to those guys about it, but and ladies, to be fair, these therapy sessions, not as a joke, but let's just sit on my couch and just air out everything that I'm going through regarding all of this shit and shit that goes on behind the scenes that nobody's really privy to, and talk about my frustrations or opposite like this, excitement and everything else. But I just got to find the time to do it. But I haven't forgotten to those folks. All right. And I think we got a write-in through the Facebook. I could be wrong about that.
I didn't see that.
Let me check.
This is where I have a message, but I didn't see a question.
Hi, this was a post on an Australian Transformers group page. EB is an Australian retailer offering a Unicron pre-order. Thought this would help with your number tracking. Oh, I'll read it out. I'll just give him a shout out. This is from Damian Cope. It was just from, it said, a chat with EB Games. I did see this. This did hit my radar. It said, I fired a few Transformer questions at EB's PR folks. They may be answers to things you've wondered about. I don't know what, EB Games? What the fuck would they know about it? Anyway, Unicron pre-orders count as crowd-funded backers, but pre-orders don't add to Pulse's website numbers. So that's interesting.
Oh, so the numbers don't reflect the actual count.
Unless the numbers have already been accounted for. I know that sounds confusing.
Yeah.
Like 75% isn't a C, but let me try to break it down. So, okay. So you're Hasbro Pulse, and I'm BBTS.
Yep.
I'm going to order 200 units. You count those 200 numbers. I get 50 pre-orders. That's not what's counted. They counted the 200. They're not counting the pre-orders. Do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it could be that you got because these motherfuckers. I'm telling you, from my very limited interactions with them, it's all about how they word the shit. They're very careful about it.
Yeah.
EB gives Hasbro pre-order numbers on August 31st. Nothing offered re-speculation. They'll do it anyway. Nothing offered on where they do it anyway. Hasbro has made sure they're careful to offer the crowdfunding caveat that it might not go ahead. Okay. So, yeah, I have heard that. And I'll tell you, if they go ahead with it, they'll never be able to do the crowdfunding thing again.
Yeah, because no one's going to believe them.
No one will believe them.
Yep.
Their reputation is ruined.
Yep. Because, yeah. That's a gamble on their part.
Yeah,
of this 8,000 number.
It would be suicide. It would be suicide for the Pulse.
Yep.
They have to stay true to that.
But then, like, the other side is you lose anyway because you've spent all this money to develop this fucking thing, and now you're not going to even make it.
Correct. I mean, like it's. I mean, obviously, if it doesn't get funded, it's always going to be bad, you know. But yeah, if they put it out, they really have shot themselves in the foot. So I'm trying to think if there's anything else. From Star Wars, the Rise of Resistance got a new trailer, but I don't really give a shit about that. In Star Wars, Hasbro's to reveal its Star Wars lineup at Fan Expo Canada, August 22nd to August 25th.
What decision is that?
See, that's what I'm talking about, man.
It seems very arbitrary.
Yeah. Oh, God. And then there's nothing really else. A bunch of Lego leaks have come out. I forwarded some of them on to Bricks on the Dollar.
Lego leaks of the Star Wars?
Yeah. Like just like little character designs and stuff. But
counts as toilers? Legos are toys?
And even like some of the assortments and stuff. Like you're like on this Force Friday shit, you're gonna get this boxes of this size vehicle, this many boxes of this size vehicle, this many, you know. So I had some of that information. I just sent it on to him. I hope he can do something with it. And that is about it. This says impact. I don't know. All right, that'll do it. Good fucking show, though.
Yeah, man.
Good
Always
conversation.
love talking to you.
Yeah. Shout out to Chris and Adam, neither of which could be here today. And next week is going to get real rough, but we will make something happen in some way, shape, or form.
I won't be here. I think Chris said he might not be able to be here.
And Adam is a dice roll these days, so it's I might just try to plan on something else and see if Adam can make it. Shout out to the rest of the Nerve Rage crew. Raul, who has been posting a little bit on Instagram. It's nice to see him return. And Marilyn Phil, still holding us down on Twitter. Dante, still doing Facebook, and much appreciated. And Mr. Manny behind the scenes. Gort on the Force Sensitive. We have a show this Friday. I think we're having Mr. Fisher on. And
I cannot fucking piece together in my head your fucking schedule.
Dude, it's a nightmare.
You have 20 hours of free time in your week, and you put out 30 hours of content. I don't know how you fucking do.
So let's see. Sunday I got I think one Patreon video ready while Laura was in the shower. Monday, and then I spent the rest of the day with my family just doing family shit. Monday I worked, day was shot. Tuesday I had the morning. I did 4 dummies. I got 4 dummies ready for Wednesday. And
that's entitlement. Is that Entitlement?
Yes.
I just watched it this morning.
Yes.
Interesting.
Yeah. Tuesday afternoon, I spent with my wife. We caught up on the boys, finished the boys, and then had dinner, and then just spent time together. This morning, also Tuesday, I put together the Doctor Strange Hot Toys review for Patreon and some more Marvel Legends reviews for Patreon. So all that shit is done. Wednesday, I woke up. That's today.
Yes.
Right? Yes. I woke up at 6 o'clock, jumped out of bed, put Sit Down Saturday together, finished Sit Down Saturday, shot my last Marvel Legends review and the Asajj Ventress lightsaber review that goes up tomorrow. And then I started working on my Force Friday video, which you came in.
Yep.
I'm almost done that. And I'm going to try to get that done before Shattered Cast.
Tonight.
Which is tonight.
It's fucking crazy.
Yeah. Friday, I have a call with my dad. I've now scheduled in. So I got to handle that first thing in the morning. And then I'll probably start working on reviews for next week. I have the Flames Toys Bumblebee review to do, and then I have If It Teases the Court that I want to get done. So I'll try to get both of those done, and then Friday afternoon I'll probably work on the X-Mansion. And then Saturday, Laura and I will probably spend the entire day together, and then rinse and repeat for next week.
It's crazy.
And in between this, I'm handling the PMs and the DMs and the posting the videos.
How do you even have time to want to look forward to an event because you don't have any time for events?
That's why I need the event.
You don't have time for it.
On the weekends. You know? Like, that's why I need it, because, like, that shit puts fuel back in the tank. And then I also, making sure all the Patreon shit gets posted and everything, and making sure there's enough content for that. I did an interview for Patreon. My wife wrote all these questions to ask Jaina and Selena about, like, what it is, how is it kind of living here, you know, with all the shit that I always have going on, and what the basement is, and all that kind of stuff. And it's kind of interesting. They're kids, so the conversations get off track fairly easily, but there's some interesting stuff that's going to come out.
To be fair, our conversation here get off track very easily.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. So a lot of that's coming out this month also. And I had that 8 weeks episode I got to get out. My thing about that
now is the thing again.
No. We did it way back.
I know, 2 years ago.
So, like, the thing is like, I want to put it out,
bonus track,
but it's also it's just fine. It's nothing like the spectacular about it, and I almost feel like you guys deserve something better. But, like, I just need to post it. And,
you
I just
already
need to post it and rinse my hands of it.
It's like what New Mutants.
So Laura Jisk and I have been talking. So I don't know if you've been seeing this. It's been going around a little bit, but the top 50 rappers list.
Mm-mm.
And we were talking about compiling a list and having a conversation about it. You know, maybe, I don't know what we'd do with it, but have a conversation about it. Because what's interesting about lists like that, and I'd be willing to do it with bands. I'd be willing to do, like, but only like top 50, top 100, stuff like that. Because what's interesting about that conversation is once you get out of the top 10, you know, and
because
you start,
it's really hard to, like, put
and
things
you start,
in order.
You start deciding who's really better, number 35 or number 36, who's really better between those two. So I'm anxious to have that. I don't know what we're going to do with it, but we're going to at least do it for funsies, if nothing else. And shout out to the rest of the Cool Table Network, Shattercast Uncut, which I'm getting ready to do here shortly. Oh, and I have a Skype conversation I'm supposed to be having soon, too. And I got to get the kids fed. So
ridiculous.
It's busy Mac. Realm of Collectors, End of the Realm, Beer and Bolters 401k, Plastic Fanatics, Stasis Lock, Toy Detox. I need to have a fucking Cool Table talk with those guys to find out who the fuck is doing shows and who's not. I need to sort that out.
Because, like, it's confusing now.
Yeah. Breaking the Mold, Fresh Communications, Verbally Challenged, and building up to it. Is there anything else I haven't mentioned? No. Okay.
And with that, Flappy Labius.
Tight Dick Player.